Of course we did. Glad to have T. Cabo back in studio with us.
Oh, I like that. T. Cabo's not a bad name.
Yeah.
Cabo Bob.
Cabo
Bob's
Bob.
great.
Cabo Bob. You should do Cabo Babo because
Cabo Bob is
Cabo
good.
Wabo is, I think, like
that
a
little
famous
bar or something.
bar down there. Yeah.
I think Bill Bender accidentally called you T-Bone yesterday.
That's a
classic.
That's
Yeah.
a classic, especially these northern guys. It's always northern guys that don't know why.
But we have to know.
Mm-hmm.
Gronk.
I did not really get to. I did not really get to hang out with any of the I mean, there were a few players there. Gronk,
So
Amendola. We actually spent some time with in St. Louis, but I didn't. I don't know, man. At the wedding, literally, I was like, you see a racehorse pre-race, and you get him in the stall.
Sure.
And they're just anxious. They're chomping at the bit. They're waiting for those doors to open and the gun to fire and they can run. That was me waiting for the dance floor, right? So, I mean, we're sitting there. It's like a sit-down dinner. There's toast going on. But when I tell you the second those gates open, I think I just spent the next 5 hours dancing, me and my wife, and not really talking to anyone. And so, no, I did not get to be tight with Gronk. Unfortunately. In fact, I did not even exchange a word with Gronk.
What?
Yeah.
This is so disappointing.
Man, we thought
for sure.
We thought for sure.
Yeah.
We were like, this is going to work out.
Yeah.
No, got to see a lot of the old homies. Shout out Calvin Shepard.
saw Shep
great to
post
see
pictures,
him.
yeah.
Love seeing my guy Russ, Rid, all of them, Ryan St. Julian. Just, I mean, a bunch of the old college fellas. That was a lot of fun, but no Gronk bonding. At one point, I was laughing because Gronk did enter the dance floor with an entire tree branch over his head, shaking it like some sort of caveman. I thought he had ripped it off, which would have been very appropriate. I was like, I know my wife knows nothing about sports, and I was like, I know you don't know anything about this, but I can't imagine a more appropriate image to come to light than what you just witnessed right there on the floor.
Yeah.
But
very on brand.
yeah, he didn't break the branch though. I thought he did. Apparently, I guess Amendola is hanging from or something. I don't know, but no, I was in my own world. I was in my own world, dancing the entire night. Great to see.
Well, you know what? Good
Glenn
for you.
Dorsey hang out with Glenn for a while. Yeah,
there,
man.
huh?
Gonzalez finest, Louisiana legend, the prince that was promised, that led us back to the golden age.
Great human being as well.
Incredible human being. So, yeah, it was an awesome time. Huge congratulations, Steve Ridley and now Alexis Ridley. A beautiful wedding, a lot of tears, a lot of dancing, and but unfortunately, no Gronk friendship struck up.
I have to say, I'm really proud because the Twitter world didn't have a lot of faith in you getting here this morning.
Yeah, I know.
75% of people thought that you were going to.
Hey, that actually went down because it was 77.
It was.
I mean, look, I
was.
don't know how many times I have to prove that so many of you out there talk about it, but are rarely actually about it. When I say hoot with the Owls at night, you got to soar with the Eagles during the day. It's not just something cute. Okay, it's like when Accutemp says service to the highest degree. It's a core guiding ethos. Okay, and I'm gonna have my fun late night, but I'm gonna get my stuff done in the morning. Bottom line,
If
but I
you
kept
make
it
your
pretty
flight.
chill. I kept it pretty chill here.
Yeah. It's a big if.
Got to make those flights.
No, the last flight we just skipped. We just said we weren't gonna do. You talking about after Florida? We just said, let's just push it back a day.
Yes, and that was clear and obvious. You're like, hey, we missed our flight. And Laundry and I are like, it's like 5:30 at night.
Right.
Yeah, no.
We're like, in these flights that you're missing, you have plenty of time to get to them.
And there's like other options. You're like, coming
Right.
from,
Okay, hold on.
like,
There's
Florida
no,
to
Also,
New Orleans.
there's no
somebody
multiple
had a
missed flights. There's been one miss. It wasn't even a missed flight. Again, it was just a conscious decision to push back the exit by a day.
Somebody had a very valid question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you miss the flights getting home, but never a departing flight?
Well, again, I have never. Where is the multiple flights angle coming from?
Although
I
you
don't know.
did miss the last time you went to Cabo, you did actually miss the departure.
That was no,
you did.
No,
That's
that was
because
no,
of the passport.
That was customs, and that was insane, and that stranded us in Dallas. And thank God, the whole family. Thank God, I had a friend staying there at an Airbnb randomly that does not live in Dallas, who took us in for the night so we could get on a flight the next morning. That was nothing to do with us. That was 3 hours spent trying to get back in the country through a customs line. But
and also, you flew out of an airport that I didn't expect you to fly out of. Was that planned?
Yeah, Shreveport. Yeah, drove the kids up to Toledo Bend, dropped them off there, and then we woke up at 2 a.m. to fly and catch a 5 a.m. flight out of Shreveport, which was great. And yeah, we made it, and it was an excellent time. Pretty chill, dude. I mean, honestly, it was not. I just spent most every day just sitting on the beach doing absolutely nothing except for swimming in the ocean and reading smutty romantices. It was fantastic.
No sharks. You didn't have to worry about the sharks like everybody else.
No, they're all in the Gulf.
Yeah. There's no. I've rarely seen anything like. I've never seen any there, but I don't know. The ocean is, again, it's
undefeated.
It's like space.
It's just it's like weird because I sit here in the studio whenever we talk about it, we talk about how scary it is and this or that. But whenever I get there, I can't help but just swim in it constantly. It's just so good and so wonderful. So no, it was an awesome trip. But again, the wedding itself, really beautiful, really fantastic. Great to see old friends, and a huge thanks to Rid and Alexis for having us down there. It was cool.
How far were you staying from where the wedding was?
About 30 minutes.
Okay.
So that was another reason for some of the estrangement maybe with the wedding party, or the lack of relationship development with Gronk and company. Is that really he was only there for the wedding and maybe something like the
he couldn't get the full Bob experience because Bob had to be a little bit responsible, knowing he had 30 minutes to kind of get back to.
Well, no, I mean, it's just, we just like, basically, yeah. A lot of the bonding went on, late, because when everybody's staying at the same hotel and everything, then late night, that's when all the weird partying's going down, they're going out, the pool's during the day. But no, I was just sipping mezcal, just reading smutty novels. Like I said, dude, it was great. It was awesome. Super relaxing. Very glad to be back. Feel very out of practice, very rusty. I feel like a lot happened when I was gone, or maybe it didn't. I mean, again, like I said, next we need to get into what Tennessee winning the national championship actually means. Because I know for many people, it was online presented to me as the lesser of two evils, and maybe emotionally that's the case because you hate A&M. Maybe you hate A&M more than you hate Tennessee, and you don't want A&M to win. And a lot of people are like, I know you hate Tennessee more. And like me and Tennessee, it's kind of fun. It's almost like a wrestling bit. Right now, I of course wanted both teams to somehow lose, but I probably have more actual animus for A&M than I do Tennessee. But if we really want to explore that question of what's the lesser of two evils, I don't even think it's particularly close at the greater evil one. I mean, you have a Tennessee team led by a coach who is as good of a coach as anybody in the country, a Tennessee team that's been to Omaha 3 of the last 4 years, and the 1 year they didn't go, they had a record-breakingly good regular season team. They nearly broke the 97 LSU home run record. They tied it in terms of home runs during the NCAA tournament. Like if A&M had won, that would have been great for them, but I could have seen them having an Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU drop-off. I don't see a potential drop-off for Tennessee here. So if you're asking me what's the lesser of two evils, no, I think Sauron won. I think or Morgoth in this case. Like I think the greater evil won, and I think it makes it really even more incredibly challenging for what Jay Johnson and this LSU baseball program has to do to catch back up to them.
And that's where we rested yesterday whenever we got off air, that if Tennessee won, all the things that you said, those were going to be true. For A&M, sure, they haven't won a major sport national championship since 1939, but A&M still got some weirdness to it. It's not for everybody. I don't think they could thrive like Tennessee. Tennessee, on the other hand, has already gotten recruits from high school. They've already gotten transfer portal players. They've put $100 million into renovations of their
Damn.
baseball stadium. It's going to have a new outfield, new suites, new entrance. So a lot of new there in a program that before Tony V got there, like they never even made the NCAA tournament really. Like it was rare if they did that. So he's completely changed. You know that they want to be great at something in Knoxville. So yeah, I agree with you. And how could you not? I mean, where they're going to potentially go now, like the Texas job becoming open, that becomes interesting, but Tennessee is going to do everything they possibly can to keep Tony V there. And if he's there, they're going to win.
What do y'all think out there in the ether? Listen to me spew nonsense stories about the vacation that I was on that you don't really care about. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN is where you can get your opinions in. What do you, am I wrong? Is Texas A&M the greater evil? Or do they have more staying power? Who were you actually cheering for yesterday? And shout out to all the Cats fans. Get in the chat and we can celebrate our long-sought championship together. More Off the Bench coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Who could forget Van Beesbrook? God, what a goalie he was back in the day. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. If you have a Bobrovsky-level clog going on in your pipes right now, right? Just stopping everything. Nothing can get through. Try to snake it yourself. Nothing's working. Well, you call up Central Plumbing. Take advantage of that flat rate pricing, 24/7 emergency service, licensed, bonded, and insured employees. Great warranty after the work is done as well. Central Plumbing is your one-stop plumbing shop. And with 5 decades of experience, y'all, I don't care what your issue is, they know how to fix it. And it's commercial, residential. They got the fleet, the peeps. They cover it all. CentralPlumbing.org.
Now, Sloppy Joe Bob's back, but that's okay.
I had Chinese twice yesterday.
Oh, God, maybe it is. Don't panic.
Twice.
Just call 225-925-8552, centralplumbing.org.
Achieving new heights.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Oshner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Shay Dixon joins us after a busy recruiting weekend, and we're recapping the College World Series with Ronnie Rance. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, T-Bob, Jake, Jacob, and Alondra hanging out with you today. Chat seems very disappointed that I don't have a Gronk story. Look, I know, man. I know. But, like, what was I going to, I don't know. I just wanted to dance. I didn't want to make small talk or anything like that. And what he says to go, but introduce yourself. I know. Look, you know what? It's fair. I'd be disappointed in myself, as well if our roles were reversed.
I mean, yeah, not even like hanging out, just like maybe a funny story or two, like, real meathead, like me, T-Bob, you Gronk.
No, I mean, again, he did take that very thick tree branch out to the middle of the dance floor and shake it over his head while just going, just kind of yelling, which is about, as close as I guess you're going to get to it.
Yeah, you should have said something to Danny. Danny is like a very genuine person. He probably would have remembered you from training camp in St. Louis.
Yeah, I know. But again, I just all I want to do is dance. Okay? I got limited weddings left. And so any wedding I get a chance to, I'm not letting a single minute go by.
Is it just Bo and this one this year?
Yeah, they dry up. You know how it is when you're in your mid to late 20s, you start going to so many that at a certain point you're like, oh my God, another wedding we have to go to. Like, geez, guys, like it's getting expensive and blah, blah, blah. And it's just a classic, tale of how life goes, right?
Yeah.
Where you don't really appreciate what you had till it's gone.
I don't know where my next one's coming from.
Exactly.
I'm 39 years old,
Yeah, exactly.
They're dried up.
It doesn't come again until we get really old, right? And then we've lost the ability to dance. I'm probably at my dancing peak right now, if I'm being completely honest. And so I gotta move while these knees and these hips still allow it. Yeah. And so that was goal number 1 for the night. No talking.
Maybe me if I'm still around.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. You probably would. Yeah, like honestly, probably yes. Would be the one of the few remaining candidates that I would have in my circle that could have me at a wedding. But yeah. Also, you know what, guys? I wanted to hang out with my wife, not Gronk. Okay, is that so bad? Jeez, it's the first trip without kids in years. Last thing, Mitchell Knapp says, the last thing we need is a crappy A&M doing something good, to which Matt C says, nah, I'd rather A&M still not have a championship since before World War II. Can't have the Colt do anything good Well, Jacques says Tennessee fans suck the absolute most. This was the worst possible outcome. Maybe we should do a poll question. So did y'all do a poll yesterday?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
On who people wanted to win.
No, we did one on
on
Would You
you.
Be
That's
Back?
what I'm saying. So maybe we do a poll today on a would you have rather, or I don't know how
Okay.
we frame it. Are you happy, or would you have rather A&M won, or what was the lesser of two evils, or is it good or bad that Tennessee won? We need some way, because it seems just in chat here that there seems to be a lot of people falling on both sides of the of the equation.
I'm just gonna say, would you rather have Tennessee or A&M won the Natty?
We can yes, we can work. I think we maybe worded a little bit. We'll workshop it. We'll workshop it better than we'll workshop it during the break here. Ryan Brock says, I guess I just thought T-Bob and Gronk would naturally hang without effort like magnets. Yeah, I know. But hey, it is what it is. All right. Let's get to some more of the actual show then. So Tennessee, like I said, winning the national championship, and it comes at a time in which, yes, LSU has their own recent national championship, but kind of sandwiched around that national championship, your success doesn't even really come close to Tennessee. In that, we're looking at two regional exits sandwiched around a Natty.
Yeah.
Whereas Tennessee has 3 of 4 Omahas, a super regional exit, and now a national championship. And again, the year in which they were the super regional exit, they were the number 1 team the entire year. They just became the first number 1 seed to win the tournament since Miami did it in 1999, so a quarter of a century since that has ever been done. They won 60 games this year, finishing with a 60-13 record. They did it all displaying a bit of toughness after dropping game 1 in the final, only to come roaring back over the final 2 games. And so, yeah, like I said, now while they did not end up breaking the LSU 97's home run records, they did tie. They both hit LSU 97 and Tennessee this year at 37 home runs in the NCAA tournament. They would finish with 184 on the year to LSU's 188. But again, the bottom line here is you have a Tennessee program that is objectively ahead of you. And how many times did they 4-0'd you this year, head to head? The sweep and then the SEC tournament final. And what was last year? 3-0?
Well, no, LSU beat Tennessee in Omaha.
That's right. Well, okay, LSU got them in Omaha.
Series.
What about, and they took the regular season series against them. Yes, I believe
2 of 3.
so. Because that was before. Now I'm getting my years confused. Yeah, the Chase Shores. He had the good moment early on against Tennessee before he would end up getting hurt. Okay, so not as maybe not as dire as it feels today with Vitello and company lifting that trophy. I will say this. You've seen 3 SEC national champions kind of fall off the year after they won the last 3 years. Now, LSU did a spectacular job of the second half of this SEC season, finding their way, creating success. The pitching got elite, quite frankly, the second half of the year. The hitting got more timely and more crucial. And you pushed the UNC team to the absolute brink, being a couple outs your way yourself from a super regional and maybe making Omaha yourself. But it is, I think it's an objective take, Jake, that you have ground to make up against the Volunteers.
Yeah, I mean, so you beat them twice in Omaha. You beat them twice in the regular season last year. So you won 4 out of 5, but you're right. I mean, they got you this year. But even before then, to your point, they did have your number, right? And they beat you in postseason baseball. So it's been a little bit of a back and forth, but certainly leaning more towards Tennessee. And like now you've got another SEC contender for a national championship, because you've won all these national championships in a row if you're the SEC, and they've all been different teams. Like, it's just another team that you're adding to the equation, right? and with Vanderbilt and with Florida and with Ole Miss and with Mississippi State, and like it's just national championship caliber programs. And Tennessee, to me, they kind of have a feel of like a Florida, like staying power, right? Because Mississippi State, they were good this year, but after they won, they didn't make the postseason. Ole Miss, a little bit of back and forth. But for Florida, right?
Ole Miss has been garbage since.
Yes. Florida wins 1-17, right? They've been to Omaha numerous amounts of times since then. Last year, you beat them in the championship series, right? Winner take all game 3.
Yeah.
So they have staying power. It feels like that's now what Tennessee is. Like Tennessee and Florida are the teams that every single year you can count on them being in that position. Like, is there other teams that you can count on to put in that same category? Because like even Arkansas and Vanderbilt, they've had a lot of postseason disappointment lately.
I was going to say Arkansas seems like they'll just always disappoint you when it comes to the postseason or disappoint their fans. Just a weird down year for Vanderbilt in general. It felt like this year. So yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to agree. I mean, what we say, isn't it like 9 in the last 15 Omahas for Florida or something absurd, making over 50% of the time. We were trying to range find LSU expectations and what they should be in a conference like this. Whereas Jake said, Tennessee becomes the 8th SEC school to win a natty. It's the 5th SEC school in a row, and he named them all. But really, think about that. 5 different champions from a single conference, 5 consecutive years. That
6
is
out of 7 was 6
insane.
different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you had Florida from
17 when they beat
LSU.
All right, another SEC on SEC national championship battle. Who won the in-between? Virginia? No. It doesn't matter. 6 of 7, 5 in a row. What's that, Alondra?
It would have been 2018.
Yeah, and we were just talking about this yesterday.
We did.
It doesn't really matter, though, because the point stands that all this does is reinforce what an insane conference the SEC is, and as LSU fans, you still
Oregon State when they beat Arkansas with the foul ball that got dropped.
Oh, that was the foul ball year. Oh God, absolutely brutal.
That's what it was.
So okay, so you're one
pop up away from winning. Think about that, from winning 7 in a row with 7 different teams,
half the conference, literally.
Oh wow,
half the conference winning national championships.
And that's why you see Texas move on from Pierce when they did.
Yeah.
And they realized like football's thriving going into the SEC. And they're like, hold up, wait a minute, baseball, you're not doing what we need you to do. Like you've been okay, you've won some Big 12s, you finished 3rd in Omaha in 2021. That's not good enough heading into the SEC. And it's not like Pierce like fell off a cliff, like they still were having good seasons making the postseason, but not to the standard of Texas. I mean, they've won the 3rd most national championships behind USC and LSU. There's a high expectation there. And so going into the SEC, knowing all that information that we just laid out, they're like, we're not half-stepping into the SEC. We're about to go steal one of your coaches, somebody big time, marquee, everybody knows kind of name, and we are going to sprint into the SEC. That's at least what it feels like.
Well, and remember, I mean, the Pierce thing's obviously been written on the wall. We played the Jay Johnson audio, and he was asked about the Texas job, and it was an answer that was very much kind of like, a smart, I'm seeking a raise answer, like all coaches will do to use it as leverage. Schlossnagle was asked about the job as well from Texas A&M, the national championship losing coach, and here's some audio.
I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again. And that hasn't changed in my mind. That's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft. But I understand you got to ask the question. But I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. So write that.
Contrasting the two answers from Johnson and Schlossnagle is kind of interesting. Again, I don't want to fear-monger too much here. I don't believe that Jay Johnson's going anywhere, obviously. I think he just played it a bit more of, hey, I can use this as leverage for maybe if I want some sort of state improvements, some sort of more guaranteed money, an extension, a raise, whatever, right? Like it's smart business. But, Maybe it was just the emotion of the moment, but Schlossnagle really making it pretty clear cut that he will not make what would be the most extreme of moves, going from being an Aggie to a Longhorn.
Money talks.
Yeah, I mean, now A&M.
You cannot leave after that audio. You cannot.
No, you can't.
No, you can. We've heard
the
some
prime example.
We've heard some bad audio of coaches saying they weren't going to leave. Look, this is going to get a lot of people paid. This is going to get probably Tony V, probably Jay Johnson, Sully down in Gainesville, Van Horn. This is going to get all those coaches paid. They're all going to get raises. Now, the thing is, Texas is going to get one of the coaches they want. They are going to cast a wide net on the top 10 names in college baseball, and they're going to get one of them.
Who's the Kalen DeBoer?
I think they already have it.
Who's the Kalen DeBoer? Because
I think they already know.
This is very, very similar to the Alabama coaching search, only I think in baseball there's probably more attractive quality candidates.
Who do you think it is?
I don't know. But I think they already know, because you're not going to fire a coach that in 8 seasons went to the College World Series 3 times, won 3 Big 12 titles without already having somebody in place.
I mean, they have an idea.
Yeah.
They've got a list. I think the list is probably
I
5
think it's Tony V's
marquee
number
names.
1.
I think he's
that
number
ain't
1.
happening now.
Matt was
It
saying,
can't happen.
So if he was number 1, that ain't happening.
It cannot happen.
Matt was saying Skip Johnson in Oklahoma was one of the top guys.
Yeah, and I've heard Skip's name tossed around there, but if you fire Pierce to go to Skip,
yeah,
what are you doing?
Yeah.
And that's not to say he's not a good baseball coach. I mean, I think he is, but
It feels a bit lateral, though.
yes.
Yeah.
It feels lateral from everybody involved.
Except for maybe the money.
I just think it's kind of funny that Schlossnagle quote. I left my family to be here. Why, Coach? Why didn't you move them with you?
Yeah, why didn't you bring them?
They're just like
The Texas A&M has
like,
a no family clause.
I don't even have a family anymore. That's how much I'm about this A&M life. Okay. No, I get it. I mean, the family's probably in high school or something.
I
Kids
left
stay
them
back
in
home. They go to
Dallas.
school. Yeah, like whatever. But so Schlossnagle taking his hat out the ring.
What about
Allegedly.
Tom Walter at Wake Forest? Probably not a name that's going to be brought up a ton, but look at what he's done. I mean, it took an incredible LSU team and Paul Skeens and Trey Morgan making incredible plays and Tommy White's hitting a walk-off home run for them not to probably win a national championship last year. They were number 1 in the country coming into this year. Now, they didn't live up to that, but they still played well. They still made the postseason, right? They still had a lot of moments. Maybe a guy like Tom Walter, and look, we know Wake Forest can't keep up money-wise.
Yeah, and some would say, "Oh, well, why would you want to join the SEC when you're in the ACC?" But I mean, the ACC is pretty much just as
4
hard.
teams make Omaha. Now, it's not the SEC, but it's as close as you're going to get.
SEC is obviously going to have a slight edge, but again, this is still the big 2 and then everybody else. So we'll continue to monitor the Texas coach situation as it develops, as, again, there's a lot of fan bases with very good coaches who will be watching and kind of clutching, hoping that they do not get poached by that big Texas oil money. All right, when we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked here on 104.5 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Coleman Roofing and Construction. Go to colemanroof.com, guys. If you want Louisiana's most complete, most reliable, and most respected roofing company, Coleman Roof can do any size job that you need, commercial or residential. They have certified installers for any type of roof that you need as well. And the construction portion comes in to say, let's say like during storm season, a tree falls on your home. Okay, well, they straight up will rebuild the house as well as the roof. You get like water damage, okay? Okay, again, they redo the interior as well as the roof. And in terms of coverage, anywhere in Louisiana, in fact, anywhere in the Gulf South region. So again, you need somebody who's going to go the extra mile for you. You want Coleman Roof, Coleman Roof and Construction, colemanroof.com.
And when you go to the website, you can see the contact information of where they're located in your area throughout Louisiana. Go to the website today to get everything scheduled, colemanroof.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years.
Andy, join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. Andy Isco joins us from Las Vegas, and we review the new national champion in college baseball. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN.
Machinations going on behind the scenes already. And if you look under Chris Del Conte in his era as the Texas AD, they fired Tom Herman. They announced Steve Sarkisian on the exact same day. They announced that Karen Aston would not return. They hire Mississippi State's coach Schaefer 2 days afterwards. When they got rid of Shaka Smart, it was less than a week before they announced that Chris Beard was going to be the head coach. As the Austin American Statesman points out, one notable exception occurred in 2018 where Connie Clark was fired, and that was on May 23rd, and they didn't actually announce the hiring until June 25th. So it's a pretty big gap there. But
Rodney Terry he was the interim coach when Chris Beard got fired, and they let it play out for a long time before they named him the full-time head coach. And he had a lot of success, but they allowed it to kind of play out. He coached, probably more than half the season as the interim coach.
Well, and the Beard situation was not your traditional, obviously your traditional firing and hiring cycle with him getting fired for kind of off the field reasons in the middle of the season. But so they move fast. But the question is, who can they move on? Because all of your top candidates, again, I don't think Jay Johnson would go anywhere. I think Tony Vitello obviously would go anywhere now. Schlossnagle basically told you he's not going to go anywhere. Another name that's mentioned is Clemson's Eric Bakich, but that's not very intriguing. He doesn't really have the – I mean, he's a fine coach, but he doesn't have it. He hasn't been to the CWS. Doesn't necessarily have too much – like, that's not going to be an exciting hire for the fans.
No, Texas fans want – a college baseball name that we can say it and everybody knows that follows college baseball.
Yeah. Maybe go you think Van Horn would go? That's
actually
the
a good
disappointment of just getting so close so many times at Arkansas, being a dropped out away, the uber disappointment of what happened in the regional this season. Probably a lot of fans chirping at him. Knows the area very well. And all of a sudden, Texas comes in with the bag. I wonder if he could get lured away from the Razorbacks, which would be, my God, I would feel bad for Arkansas fans. I mean, I guess they have Coach Cal now, so they can put all their eggs in that basket.
You got Sam Pittman. You got Bobby Petrino back.
I'm about to say, you got Bobby Petrino.
So I think Texas,
they're going to fire Pittman, and Petrino will be that interim, and then they'll get rid of Petrino, and they'll hit the full reset on football.
Like, in terms of announcing the coach, they need to do it soon because the portal closes July 2nd.
Yep.
Yeah, the timing of this also, Alonzo, it's a good point. The timing of this would speak to that. They should have somebody lined up. And who knows? Maybe it's one of those deals where they thought they had one of these guys lined up going into Omaha, but then if you end up winning, it's like, I mean, again, very famously, Les Miles back in the day was going to be the next Michigan head coach. Like, that was absolutely a done deal. Then it gets leaked. He gets angry. You win the SEC. A couple other things break. You're suddenly playing for a national championship. You're not going to leave. You're suddenly playing for a national championship, and the rest is history. He ends up remaining as LSU's head coach for the next damn near 10 years. So, who knows what happened to whatever plans they thought they had laid out. But, yeah, you're right. I think you probably got to try to move faster rather than slower because, in this conference right now, anytime you're not actively moving forward, it's just got to feel like you're losing so much ground. Like everybody's so aggressively good. Again, like we said, if Arkansas catches that foul ball, you have half of the conference winning national championships in the last 7 years, which is impossible to wrap your mind around.
Yeah, it's like there's no mistake why Texas did it and why they did it right now. Like they realize what is in front of them. And they realize that they have not been dominating the Big 12. Big 12's got some good teams. It's got some really bad teams as well within that conference. And so do we want to keep it the same and head into the SEC where it's a buzzsaw, or do we want to change it? I'm actually surprised that they didn't do it last year as they got ready to head into the SEC. So I would be just absolutely shocked if it's not somebody that has either won a national championship, played for a national championship, has 3-4 appearances in Omaha in the last 8 years. Like, I can't imagine it being somebody that's just been okay where they're currently at. That's why, like, Oklahoma and Clemson, some of these other coaches that we're talking about just don't feel like they are enough for what they're looking for.
I wonder if there's, maybe like you said, maybe Wake Forest is like the closest kind of Jay Johnson equivalent candidate out there, where he had been to Omaha a couple times, maybe wasn't the biggest name.
Hadn't won a natty like Jay, but still, a lot of success.
No, I mean, when LSU hired Jay Johnson.
Oh, I got you.
Mean, like, Jay, because remember, a lot of
Been
people
very
were like,
close.
A lot of people were like, "Oh, we need a national championship coach. We need a national championship coach." And you went with you went with the guy that looked like he was on path, to getting a national championship. All right, when we get back, let's close out hour number 1 of OTB. LSU ending the season unranked in the Baseball America Top 25. Break it down next year and Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Company, CommunitySteelCo.com, CommunitySteelCo.com. You need steel? Well, it's right over there in Gonzales, Louisiana. I'm talking about any of your steel needs, be it steel buildings, sheet metal, roofing, purlin, tubing, any steel accessories. It's all available at Community Steel, and it's all manufactured right there on site, meaning that you get the best prices because they buy directly from the wholesaler. And then because they make it, there's no middleman jacking up the price on the back end. You're not just dealing with online order forms. There's an actual human sales team that knows you, your business, your personal needs, perhaps. So form that relationship, get that product, get the best prices, Community Steel Company.
Go to communitysteelco.com. Check out where they're located in Gonzales, Louisiana. They've already been there for almost an hour right now, waiting on you to come see the showroom. If you can't make it today, that is okay. In the state of Louisiana, call 225-647-2020.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Glenn West talking Tigers, Sharif Ishak talking Saints, and college baseball has a new national champ. And does Texas have a new coach? Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
So LSU does not finish in the top 25. In Baseball America's top 25. And Noah Lejeune says they lost in a regional final, but they were not one of the 25 best teams at any point. I mean, I would firmly disagree with that. I believe that. I think their success at the end of the year. Okay, so I think two things here. If we want to be really semantic, and you want to say not top 25 at any point, well, that's absurd. Because by the second half of the season, you were looking at one of the hotter teams in the entire country. Like, you may not agree with Jay Johnson's assertion that they were a top 10 team in the entire country by the end of the year, but they were definitely top 15. When you look at the SEC record that they put together over the second half of the season, the run that they had in Hoover, pushing a team as good as UNC to just 2 outs away, and then being lined up for that super regional in West Virginia. I mean, I understand maybe why a baseball poll doesn't put them in, because like it's kind of an opportunity where you don't necessarily have to put them in. But I think LSU, again, for all the reasons I just named, plus a absolutely damn near perfect and stellar out of conference record, a top, 25 RPI when it was all said and done. Yeah, I think LSU should easily be a top 25 team, but doesn't really matter. I guess at the end of the day.
No, I mean, a place like this, like, did you make Omaha? Did you not?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of always the conversation. Now, it does feel like in football, maybe I hustle that a little bit more. Like, hey, they finished 12th in the country, or they finished 9th in the country. It's another top 10 finish. It feels like in football, maybe that's something that we talk about more.
I think it definitely matters more. Maybe it's because football, unlike baseball or basketball, doesn't really have, I guess making a playoff is starting to become this, but even then it's not the same. A Final Four banner is akin to a championship banner. An Omaha appearance is akin to a championship, maybe a bit less so at LSU, where you've won so many national championships, but no, these are sports where, because of their tournaments or for whatever reason, if you just make it into that grouping, that's kind of like an accomplishment in and of itself, where I don't know that even a football playoff appearance, when it was just 4 teams making the playoffs, I don't know if it really had that feeling. And now a playoff appearance is not, for football, is not going to be like, it's not going to feel banner-like. It's going to feel like you better make the playoff more often than not, with 12 teams and soon to be 14 teams making it a year. So yeah, it's definitely different in football, where a top 10 finish can mean a lot more, whereas in baseball, it's just like you said, did you make it to Omaha or not?
Yeah, like, some people have, every time they've made a regional or super regional on their outfield wall, and every time they make Omaha, where baseball here, like national championship, the Intimidator. So it's a little bit different, but yeah, it's a different conversation. Every sport's, like, you make the Final Four, to your point, in basketball, you best believe that thing's going up in the PMAC. There's going to be a banner. There's going to be a celebration for that.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
So it's completely different than some other sports.
Cortland Jacob, they were within one run of winning the SC tournament of the eventual national champs, within one run of the super regionals, and realistically Omaha, because they probably weren't going to lose to WVU. Yeah. And Brett Moore says LSU was hot at the end of the year, since he had 29 seed in the tournament, lost close to them to the 4 seed, so fringe top 25. Yeah, exactly. I think it should be around 21, 22. But again, this is all a bit semantic. Who cares? And LSU's goals are way larger, and LSU's going to be expected to be right back next year. Hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go Tommies, GEAUXTommies.com, GEAUXTommies.com. Go to Go Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, and you will see the difference clearly. Okay? 27 years in the business Tommy's been, after coming down here from Virginia to ply his trade in the Golden Band from Tigerland. And after 20 years, he said, you know what? I'm going to break off. I'm going to do my own business, because there's some things that I would do better. And, well, they've done that. And that's why for the last 7 years now, they've been awarded with the Angie Service Award. So if you need hardy plank or vinyl siding, you need wood or vinyl windows, you need any type of door, Tommy's has your backs. GEAUXTommies.com.
Yeah, we always encourage you, when you go to that website, check out the gallery of work they can do for you. You can see past client results, but also remember this, they can do custom jobs as well. So have them out, show them what you're looking for. They can get it done. GoTommies.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? OTB here, back on this Tuesday, June 25th. That's crazy, man. July almost here. Rolling straight through the month of June. A lot of sports going on, but we're about to be in the Olympics right now. The Euros are rolling right along as we open the show with.
Also, Copa America.
I was going to say, the U.S., great 2-0 win over Bolivia to start Copa America. Just an absolute banger of a goal from Pulisic. But then really, Jake, I just watched like a 15-minute I watched a little bit of it live. I saw the goal live. And then I watched like a 15-minute basically highlight package. Seemed like some real quality attacking play from the men pretty much the entire game.
Yeah. Felt like it should have been 6-0.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, it's one of those games where Bolivia, you forgot that there was an other end of the pitch.
Yeah.
Like, it was all being played. And that's not, look, and Bolivia is 85th in the world. Like, I understand that. But, yeah, complete dominance for the U.S. They get ready for someone they know very well in Panama in their next contest. And so it's going to get harder, obviously, from here. But a good way to start Copa America for the U.S. as they try, to make it a little bit farther than they did last time. And they had a nice run, finishing 4th in the last time they appeared in Copa America.
The Euros also rolling.
Oh, today's a big
right along.
Today we got 4 of them boys.
At 11 a.m. you got France, Poland, Netherlands, Austria also at 11 a.m. And then you got Denmark, Serbia, and England, Slovenia, both playing at 2.
You went France. I went Netherlands. Alondra, who did you go in the
Spain.
Euros? Spain. It's not bad. It's not a bad pick right now.
I know.
Spain, the only, I believe, the only 3-0 team in the group stage, getting a full 9 points.
Tay picked Slovenia.
And to be clear, I don't know if I picked France. I've always gone with France.
I think you teetered between France and Italy.
Yeah, but I mean, well,
you always go France.
I mean, I know, but again, it's they're a little too good at this point where it feels a little bit too much like cheering for the Yankees. But I guess allez le bleu, if we must. What have you thought about the Euros tournament as a whole, though, thus far, Jay?
Not the quality of finishing that I thought that we were going to see. A ton of own goals. I mean, just a ton. It's the leading scorer in the Euros, kind of in the storyline. There hasn't been a lot of dominance like I thought. Like, nobody really looks better than the other outside of, I guess, maybe Spain. They've, done what they've had to do. Like, England does not look good at all. They've won one, they've drawn one, but they don't look good at all. They look dysfunctional. Even France, they don't look like the team that we thought they were going to heading into this.
1-1 and drawn 1 as well.
Got Croatia, a team that I thought was a dark horse kind of favorite because of how well they play in tournaments. Like, when it's tournament time, World Cup, Euros, Croatia shows up, I mean, they're all but out.
Yeah.
But they lose a heartbreaker to Italy yesterday. So it's been a little bit. It's been lackluster as far as goal scoring and teams that we thought were going to dominating. But on the flip side of that, like, you've got some teams with some real grit, like Slovenia. They've drawn 2 matches. They haven't lost a match. Yeah, it's not a team that we had doing that. Austria's looked good at times. And so some of the teams that maybe we didn't have playing well have actually played well and held their own against some of the best in the world.
So the Euro's still going down. Again, 4 more games today, 4 more games tomorrow. NHL ending last night. Panthers winning the Cup. The Olympics cranking up the U.S. trials. Shout out to Carrie Richardson. I'm sure y'all talked about her yesterday. I'm guessing her weekend winners or something.
I don't think. No, we did not talk about her yesterday.
Okay, so Carrie Richardson Saturday night running a 10-7-1 to win the U.S. trials. Again, not even getting off to her best start in the race reportedly, and still dominating. That 10-7-1 makes her the fastest woman in the world thus far this year. So LSU's finest, looking to complete what would be one of the better redemption arcs that we've ever seen, especially here recently, whereas, of course, she was already the fastest woman in the world around the last Olympics, but was banned from the team for testing positive for marijuana, which, again, at this point in the game feels really patently absurd. But instead of, look, but what'd she do? Even though, again, I think that's kind of crazy and doping rules need to be, drug testing rules need to be advanced and evolved. I mean, there is no way that marijuana is a performance enhancer. I don't see why, if you're an Olympic athlete, you should not be able to smoke marijuana, especially when we know more and more about some of the recovery benefits and whatnot. But instead of decrying the injustice of it all, what she do, she just kept working her butt off. And now she's better than ever. And she appears to be peaking at the exact right time going into Paris here over this next month or so. So even though we won't have any college sports to talk about, we'll get into a lot of college football preview talk over the next month as we gear up for everybody's favorite season around these parts of town. A lot of Saints talk as well. The Olympics will be an excellent vehicle, I think, to carry us through as we watch some former LSU greats try to make their name. Also, I finally got my Taryn Cloth and Kristen Ness sweater.
Oh, you did?
As well, yeah. I guess it got delivered straight to Faux Pas Prince over there in New Orleans. And I got a random call the other day that they were about to throw it out because it's been sitting there for 3 years. And so
I ain't got a call.
I know. I asked them if they had anything under your name, and they said no. So I don't know why. I don't know what happened. But yeah, so I finally got my Nussin cloth gear ready for the Olympics as well.
They're like, screw that guy. Abear, South Louisiana name. He'll be here eventually.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I know. I'm sorry. No TKN gear for you.
It's all right. If they win goal, it'll be okay.
Pelicans got the NBA draft coming up this Wednesday as well. 21st pick. Seems like they're maybe angling for a big man. One name that the Christian Clark and the Advocate was pointing out today is Yves Missy. Yves Missy, I'm not entirely sure I'm pronouncing this correctly. Played for Baylor last year. Didn't start playing basketball till he was 16 years old, Jake. He's 6'11" with a 38.5-inch vertical. 6'11", jumping 38.5 inches. That is hard to wrap your head around. Now, of course,
we tried that before.
Didn't he start playing since he was 16? So a kind of a raw prospect. I don't know what the immediate dividends that would or would not be paid there would be, but just a name to look out for. Though I got to be honest.
Jackson Hayes.
Yes, right. Jackson Hayes, but maybe hopefully with more maturity or whatever. I mean, hopefully just that could develop into a more consistent player. I always thought Jackson Hayes was going to break through, and he just never quite did. And as we talk about LSU baseball, did y'all mention adding Nichols pitcher Jacob Myers?
We did.
From the portal?
I think it was actually the first thing that we talked about.
Yeah, it was.
Because we were like, okay, good news, bad news. You add a baseball player, you lose a football commit, and kind of the way we started the show. And Jay continues to stack arms. That's for sure.
Didn't talk about Josh Simpson, though, because that was after we got off the air.
Yes, so that was going to be what I got at next is as LSU baseball is, competing in the insane nuclear arms race that is SEC baseball. It looks like they're doing a bit of poaching as Josh Simpson is leaving UGA and returning to LSU. Now, Josh Simpson 2 years ago was the LSU director of baseball operations. Wes Johnson gets a job at Georgia. He takes Simpson with him. He makes him the Bulldogs recruiting coordinator and an assistant coach. LSU getting him back, and I imagine he's going to replace Terry Rooney as director of the LSU director of program development and recruiting. So when you think about Simpson, this is a cat who's got a really interesting resume, man. He was a head coach at New Mexico Junior College from 2008 to 2015. During that time, he was the second winningest coach in program history. And think about this. New Mexico Junior College, Jake, and he had 18 players drafted into the majors in just 7 years.
Yeah.
That speaks to someone who can not just identify talent, including probably a lot of kind of diamonds in the rough, but a guy who can also develop said talent. And so he would go on after that to be a scout for the Rangers from 16 to 22. So, that's a resume that becomes pretty exciting when you think about being a director of recruiting and piecing together these teams when you could get that many players at New Mexico Junior College and you have that much MLB scouting experience from which to pull. And you saw the success firsthand here at LSU and obviously this last year with UGA and Wes Johnson.
I'm always a big fan of bringing somebody back when you were the most successful and something that worked. And I believe it was Tommy White that quickly retweeted this news whenever LSU baseball put it out there. When I see things like that, that lets me know what his relationship was with the players, what he meant to the team, some of the biggest players on the team. And so those things are going to go a long way. You just laid out his resume there, not only what he did before he got to LSU, what he did at LSU and what he did at UGA this year. I mean, that was a team that was a top 8 seed in the country after, struggling for a while in baseball. And you had the Golden Spikes award winner. Now, Charlie Condon was probably, already kind of what he was. I mean, certainly he had a great year a year ago, but still all those things kind of wrapped into one. Yeah, LSU fans should be excited about bringing Simpson back.
Yeah, Charlie Condon becomes the 11th Golden Spikes winner from the SEC. In all, he leads the country in batting average at .433, home runs at 37, slugging at 1,009. He also led the nation in total bases, OPS. Yeah, Condon was awesome this year, probably going to be the number 2 pick in the upcoming draft. Before we get to OTB Mailbag and take a little break from sports, I mean, look, the questions can be sports-based. You can ask whatever the hell you want. Any update on – oh, my God, what just happened? My brain just leaked. I guess I don't know. On how all the LSU boys failed at the MLB draft combine. Do we have any updates on how we're feeling about Bear Jones, Griffin Herron, and company and their potential for a return?
Bear Jones was kind of one of the talks of the town. He was somebody that – after they watched him,
I didn't see him in a first-round mock.
After they watched him take batting practice, I was Was it Thursday that we played that?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it was
one
before
day.
I left.
Yeah.
It was
You
before
were
I
here.
left.
It was
Yeah,
before you
and
left,
he
right.
had
So we
all
played
the
it.
insane exit velocity.
So
and
we played
everything else.
it, and then I went back and I was listening to them talk about it in the moment because we just played, I think, the
Just the
video. We didn't
video.
play. And they were like, yeah, this guy's got power that's ready for the big leagues right now. This guy's got power to all sections of the field. And, I mean, they were talking, waxing poetic, if you will, about Vera Jones. So
Yeah, the whole point of me wanting to play that video was so we can listen to the audio. We didn't.
Well, it's
But-
Taylor's fault.
Yeah, it is.
So glad he's not here.
Yeah.
Taylor sucks.
He
I know, right? We love you, Tay-Tay.
Tommy White is projected to go 18 to the Rays.
Yeah, the couple mock drafts that I looked up, White was the only LSU player that I could find in the first round.
Yeah,
so
same.
still, again though, if you're going to be a top 3 round pick, you generally tend to go, and I think Bears probably trending in that direction.
Maybe we don't know quite yet with NIL and some of the different things. Typically, for sure, T, like third round, like you're out of here. But I mean, we're seeing top 100 prospects go to school now.
Yeah,
and guys that probably would be that top 3 round picks, and they're deciding to go to school for different reasons, maybe, but a lot of the same reasons. So, never say never, but I would assume that you're going to lose Bear.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, when we get back here, let's do a little OTB mailbag. We do it every single Tuesday. Go ahead and get your questions in. It can be about anything, y'all, and we will answer them. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN. Just hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get to it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. Speaking of NIL, of course, Gordon McCurdy, injury attorney, is one of the major players in the NIL space, putting together the G team full of a lot of your favorite athletes. In fact, if you follow them at Get Gordon on social media, you can see a bunch of sit-downs, whether it's like the Grub with G series, where you just kind of get to see, okay, what make these guys tick? What are they passionate about? And you see some of their charitable, like it's great content. And again, it's one of the reasons why some of your favorite athletes choose to stay here in Baton Rouge. But if you need somebody who's going to fight for you, most importantly, stand up to big insurance companies. You get in an accident, you get Gordon, you get it done today. 225-888-8888.
GetGordon.com is the website where you can ask a question. You can get a consultation set up. You can see past client results, cases they can handle for you in the courtroom. GetGordon.com, your area code in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Shay Dixon joins us after a busy recruiting weekend, and we're recapping the College World Series with Ronnie Rance. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Rolling around here on this Tuesday. Hope you're all having an excellent Tuesday. It's time for the OTB Mailbag. Real quick, Hud Palmer giving us a pretty crazy stat. He came in studio. We were talking about just kind of SEC dominance and whatnot. SEC teams, what do you think, 17-3 in Omaha against teams from other conferences over the last 5 years. So, again, the ACC is they're a great conference. They're definitely the power two. They're right behind you, but they are objectively
even one of those losses, I know for sure, was avenged. LSU lost to Wake Forest.
Avo Marzawani, and I'm late today. Did we get any T-Bob and Gronk stories? No. I'm
Don't
sorry.
bring it up, please.
And you, like in the first segment, you're like, people don't care about my vacation. I wish you knew how much we talked about your vacation without you.
I'm sure. And I wish, I wish I had better stories, dude. I just kept it. Like I said, we just kind of.
I knew we were getting too much feedback from you.
Yeah.
We should have actually known. Because you're letting us know you landed. Here and there we get a message. If it was true, Cabo Bob.
Is that true though? Did I actually? I don't feel like I. It doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't
More than
More than normal.
More than normal.
I cut my foot on a rock swimming.
Yeah.
That does anything for you?
Mm-mm.
I played around a golf. Nothing to.
No, don't bring golf.
This is not a golf show. Hunt left. You don't have to bring it
he
up.
left the room.
Yeah, I know.
Should have said that. While
I know.
Someone would have.
He would ask you what course, and did you get a polo? Did you get a hat?
Yeah, did you get a birdie? Whatever.
Shout out Pierce Bespoke. My tux looked fire. But
it did. So were you part of the wedding party?
No. It was
it's just it was a black tie.
It was black tie. Yeah, it was black tie.
Which is not normal for Cabo.
It was I don't know. First, it was all very themed, right? Like the welcome party was everybody had to wear all white, so that's why I had the all white linen, and then it was a black tie. But I mean, I gotta say, dude, when you full disclosure, that company Pierce Bespoke gave me a custom suit as a advertising social media campaign, and I felt so in love with the suit and felt so confident in the suit that needed a tux for my brother's wedding. I just bit the bullet and bought myself my first ever really nice custom tux. And my God, it is just such a game changer when you feel like that. It just gives you confidence. You just feel so cool. I felt like James Bond. And I learned how to tie a bow tie. And I did not have enough bow tie for my neck. I was sweating trying to figure that thing out, but I got it.
Yikes.
I got it.
Yeah, well, we were wondering, we were he looks so fancy. He has a little cummerbund on and everything.
Yeah.
Cummerbunds are fun. It makes me feel like an old, successful, dad.
Yeah.
Very, very, very fun.
Yeah.
Shout out Pierce Bespoke.
Yeah, I want a suit.
Zach Moe, did you see the picture of Nuss with the O-lineman? All I can think of you in the Piper Perry meme. No, I did not see this picture.
You didn't?
No.
They posted it yesterday. Yeah.
I
think it was on Twitter. I know it was.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter.
Okay, you did. I saw it on Instagram.
Nuss posted it.
Yeah, let me see this thing. Okay, first though, we need some mailbag question, guys, in the chat. It's the only way the segment works. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Put questions in the chat, and we'll get to them right now. I guess until then, we can just talk about Nussmeier and his him and his O-lineman.
Jacob, can you? That felt bad even calling somebody else Jacob. Can you pull up Garrett Nussmeier's Twitter and get the picture so T. Cabo can see it?
All right.
All right, let's just go ahead and start it up here then. Hashtag OTB.
Wait, I didn't even do the open yet.
Well, that's what I'm calling for right now.
But because you said hashtag.
Hey, we're all a little rusty.
Mailbag.
We're a little rusty.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Okay, as we wait for some questions to come in, Jake,
Hi.
what have you decided with EA College Football 25? Have you decided where your allegiances are going to lie in terms of starting your dynasty?
God bless you. God bless you again. I'm a little torn between 3 teams.
Okay.
Louisiana Monroe, Louisiana Tech, and Army.
Okay. So 2 3-1 greats, and then a military school. All very on brand for you.
Yep. I going to Army Navy over the last 2 years, fallen in love with just the entire process of that game and the players and the coaches and the generals and like everything. And you chose Navy, so I can't go that route.
True. Yeah, it's true.
So I'm left with only choosing Army out of Army Navy. Although, typically I would probably go more Navy, having, more ties to the Marines, and the Marines play for the Navy football team than the Army, but I'm not going to hate on either one, obviously. So, yeah, Army's still in the mix.
A hashtag more disappointing finish. The A&M and Tennessee game or the T-Bob Gronk hookup?
T-Bob Gronk for sure.
T-Bob Gronk. Because there was some drama in the A&M Tennessee. Like,
I
pass
didn't
ball,
think
made
a lot of
6-5.
people saying it was really boring. I didn't think it was boring. There's some late excitement there. Think about it. The game-winning run ends up being a ridiculous Houdini at the plate where old boy completely juked the catcher out of his shoes to somehow get home there. And literally me and Gronk did not exchange a word to one another.
Man, so, not a word.
That's not even a hello.
Like a hello. That's crazy.
I didn't want to be the cloud chaser
whatever.
guy. You know what I'm saying though?
Excuses.
Okay, if you're at a wedding,
I get it.
if you're at a wedding and you're Gronk, right, and you're with like some of your boys that you all play with and everything, how many people are going up to you and trying to like, oh hey, what's up, dude? Blah blah. And I just didn't want to be. I didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Do you stand for normalizing pegging? Absolutely. This is something that I've talked about at length. I think it's just another activity in the bedroom, like anything else is. I think just pegging is just a different form of stimulation. The thing that I never will understand is when people try to tell you that pegging is a homosexual act when it's literally done with, not that I care either way, obviously. But when it's done, just like from a philosophical debate standpoint, when it's between you and a female, how could that be possible? Because if you're saying that, you're just saying that all anal stimulation is homosexual, which is, that's not true at all. So yes, I think normalizing it is completely fine. I see y'all aren't ready for this conversation.
Yeah, so I don't have an opinion.
I don't have a follow-up there, if you will.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Any chance Texas goes after an MLB coach?
No.
Look, I mean, I think the Schlossnagle was likely the choice for Texas. Right now, it's just a question of will that quote that he gave after the game ring true? Where it's gonna now, like it's gonna be real interesting if he takes that job after calling out the reporter for a selfish question, right?
Maybe he meant the timing of the question was selfish.
Oh, of course that's what he means. But guess what? If he makes the move from A&M to Texas, that's also selfish.
Yeah.
So it's a little hypocritical. Well, how's that not selfish? He's going for a bigger, better opportunity that pays more money, which is fine. I would do it too. But it's like you can't call the report. That's him. That is him doing his job. The reporter's also doing his job, and he's calling it selfish. It'll be very funny audio to have if he indeed ends up going to Texas.
Again, though, like I said, there's so much audio out there of coaches, and we were talking about when Hunt was in here, Nick Saban, I'm not going to be the Alabama head coach. He's the Alabama head coach for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. But is it? Yeah. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Rank them. Perfect fitting suit, shoes, or hat.
Hat.
I would rank that exact order. Suit, shoes, then hat.
Hat, suit, shoes.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Other than breakdancing, what is your obscure Summer Olympic sport you're throwing yourself into?
It's got to be speed walking because after finding out they walk a 5-minute mile, I need to know more about this.
I was actually watching a speed walking highlight the other day where old girl thought I think she was coming in second or third, and she pulled out her flag and was starting to celebrate.
She thought she medaled.
She got passed. She got walked right on by. And the shock on her face was truly one of those agony of defeat type of moments. But yes, again, the craziest thing we've learned the last couple of weeks is that you can walk a 5-minute mile.
Yeah.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Are nice sneakers okay to wear with suits?
Yeah.
I don't know about fashion. They were for a while. They feel pretty out right now.
I don't love that trend.
I feel like that trend's actually gone. I think it was cool for a few years. I think it's dead now.
Yeah, you can wear a nice pair.
It's fine. You can wear whatever the hell you want. I'm just saying, like, when everything I've talked to with like the suit people, like people that love that stuff, is saying that we're kind of on the other side of it. I would say that I
wear hoodies every day, so I'm probably not the person to ask that question to.
Wolf and Shepherds. If you want good shoes that you like are comfy that you can dance in. Now, full disclosure, it's one of my buddy's companies, but it's not like I got anything for free or anything. I bought every pair, but I really love me some of them Wolf and Shepherd dress shoes. Again, Gronk does commercials for him. I had the perfect opening. Skateboarding would probably be my sport, but I don't know if you would count that as obscure. And I always love Olympic ping pong. Olympic ping pong smashes. Hashtag OTB mailbag.
I think like being able to have like a hammer throw.
Hammer throw is cool as hell.
Yeah, that feels like that would be pretty good.
That spin that they pull. Also something so ancient and barbaric about the hammer throw.
Yeah, very much.
Really dumb and meathead.
Yeah. Check. Yes.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. What's your favorite scent?
I love amber oil from Whole Foods.
I like the smell of a sizzling fajita tray with shrimp and steak on it.
Oh, I thought we were talking.
Out.
I hate that.
Well, it could be. I mean, I wish I could bottle that in a cologne.
I hate that you smell,
but
I hate that you smell like body odor after you eat that. Like if you went to a Mexican restaurant and ordered that, I'm gonna know where you've been.
Yeah, good. I want to bottle that up and sell it. I want to be able to spray it on me to start the morning.
This is almost as bad as the Boudin vending machine.
Yeah, it's bad. A smell that like can bring me instant memories more than any other is early morning fresh cut grass.
Yeah.
It's complicated memories, though.
I know. There's love and hate.
It's not exactly good memories.
There's love and hate. There's love and hate.
It's a lot of like, I'm about to be running and be in the pain cave for the next 2 hours here. Like when you smell on campus, you know how Baton Rouge in the morning smells like burnt popcorn?
Yeah.
No, we've had that combo.
Hate that.
So I was having a 110 combo with my oldest son, Jackson, the other day because, well, they still run 110s. And I know I've asked Nick Saban, I've asked Kirby Smart. They don't do it anymore because they're like, no, we don't have to be meatheads anymore. Although I think Kirby actually shed a tear when he said it. Jackson was talking about, hey, they're not that bad for me. Like I'm going through those, and you kind of warned me like they were going to be awful. They haven't been bad. Now I've had some teammates where it's been bad. I said, well, Jack, they're different for everyone. I said, my guy T-Bob. He's like, yeah. I was like, T-Bob was always great in the weight room. A lot of different things.
Beast of fourth quarter.
Even now, like he goes and he works out and he crushes it. But those 110s,
they're just different, man.
And they hit him different. There's going to be something that hits you different. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
But something's going to hit you like 110s hit T-Bob.
I was a beast.
And he couldn't get that through his brain.
Fourth quarter drill, ladders, be anybody on ladders. You just call me Sweet Feet.
He's kind of like that too. Like his ladder, it's really, really good. So there's going to be something. I don't know what it is, but there's going to be something.
We dwarves are natural sprinters. We're wasted on cross country. That's how I feel about 110. What am I supposed to run 100 yards? I'm a freaking O-lineman. Get the hell out of here. It's stupid. Dumbass Tommy Moffitt. Go to A&M. Hashtag OTB mailbag. LSU already has 4 night games in Death Valley confirmed. If you can only pick one, would you rather Bama or Oklahoma be a night game?
Bama.
I'd actually kind of like Bama to be...
Like a 2 o'clock?
I think Oklahoma's actually the bigger game to LSU making the playoff. So I would say Oklahoma. I would say Ole Miss.
Alabama's just been a night for so long, and maybe a little bit of a change up. Ole Miss would be good, but I'm intrigued by the Oklahoma matchup, and if that can become a thing, or if it's going to be like Fetch and Mean Girls, and we just keep trying over and over, like the A&M game was, and finally it took 7 overtimes for that to mean as much to both teams and not just A&M. Like it meant something for LSU fans after that.
I still believe, I believe the A&M thing ended up working.
It did. It took a while, though.
Done.
That's what I'm saying. It took something that we had never seen in college football, and for a rule change because of what happened that night for the overtime.
Oh, that is crazy. That led to a rule change.
Everybody kind of involved in that, like A&M was.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Drewski killed T-Bob's confidence. Yeah, maybe so a little bit. For sure. Yeah, for those that don't know.
Well, F Drewski.
What? No, I love him. I mean, he's hilarious.
No, I do, but you shouldn't have killed your confidence.
Hashtag, let me see. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What do you think of mustache styles? Oh, I mean, I
love a good mustache.
I think there's a lot that work right now.
There is.
I've seen a lot of thin mustaches that guys pull off. A thick, great Fu Manchu is something that's always good. I finally got mine to connect by allowing my cheek hair to grow more and just allowing the sides to get longer. Just have to go through a bit of an awkward setup. So that's good.
It does touch now.
How about it? I mean,
Hell yeah.
You
manipulated enough.
You're never too old to learn new things.
That's right.
Finally figured it out.
An old dog can trick you every once in a while.
Exactly. Has to go to be Mailbag. We're officially in the doldrums now. What's the tier list for this Friday? I was thinking about favorite fruits, best fruits, doing a fruit tier list. So I have a lot of strong opinions on that.
Voted.
I can definitely get behind that.
Watermelon,
banana's going to be S tier. Watermelon's S tier.
Yeah. But then where's apple fall?
I would say, yeah. That was good.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Would you rather pull off bank capers or art heists?
It doesn't fall far from the tree.
What
is it? Bank capers?
Yeah, like would you rather be like a bank robber or like an art heister?
Oh, art heist.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's more classy.
Art thieves, yes, come with an air of romanticism. And
until you get to the black market where you have to sell this.
They live in like France and they go on yachts in the French Riviera, whereas bank robbers can be a little greasy.
Yeah. They went and bought the mask at the Dick's Sporting Goods right before they went into the bank.
Yeah. They call that a shiesty.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Do you wear flip flops when going on a flight, or do you have to wear closed-toed shoes?
Oh my gosh.
I personally do not think you should be exposing the dogs
No.
on
Yeah,
flights.
them dogs need to be
No.
covered up.
Yes.
Smothered and covered.
Yeah, no flip-flops in an airport. Because you also have to take them off, and then you got your bare feet touching the airport floor.
Also, if you don't wear socks with your shoes,
gotta be careful.
and you got to take them off at security.
Bruh.
One, your feet's gonna smell.
Yeah.
And two, them dogs gonna be touching the ground.
Nasty.
I've seen that play out too many times.
I actually accidentally did that on the way
Ugh.
to Cabo, but I don't know how these actually tennis shoes. These are Wolf and Shepherds, and
didn't have
they don't like. I never have like done anything
blister?
active in them, but they handle the no sock thing pretty well. I still wear socks 90% of the time. Like I never willingly don't, but I messed up the other day and it didn't end up being a problem. I was kind of shocked.
I don't have socks on right now because I have Crocs on. You know why I have Crocs on, T-Bob? Because I can't bend over to put my socks or shoes on. Just for my back.
That's because the back's done. All right. Hashtag OTB mailbag so we get to a break. Speaking of watermelon, do you salt your watermelon pieces while I'm eating? Absolutely.
I will for sure. Like any melon is going to get some salt. Is that a 318 thing or are we good with
No,
that?
I do that,
learned
yeah.
it. I learned it from
salt?
my family from Manny, for sure.
God, see, yeah, you're...
So
you
So
cloud
I'm-
the judgment a little bit.
I'm
No, I would
Mexican,
say
so we
318.
put salt and lime on everything. Yeah.
I mean, I'm salting on any melon.
Yeah.
Little tahini. You ever put any tahini on that
Oh,
watermelon?
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I go. I like both though. I'm not like an only salt guy. I will dive back and forth. Take a couple bites of just normal watermelon, a couple
Yeah,
bites with
same.
salt, and it's kind of bounce back and
Ooh,
forth.
I like this. I know we have to go to break. Maybe we can answer it on the other side.
Yeah, we knew a couple more when we got back.
Or I guess you'd say, what's the high school named after in your Disney sports movie? What's their colors and mascot?
Coming up
I
next,
like that.
here on OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K to Z window coverage, KTOZblinds.com, KTOZblinds.com. Hey, if you're a shift worker, why don't you look into these honeycomb shades where, look, you can go from a beautiful bright room to completely black within an instant. There's also great sound dampening qualities as well. So, like, if you need to be able to sleep when you need to sleep, regardless of what Mother Nature wants, well, the honeycomb shades could be for you. I know Father's Day just passed, but if you're still looking for something to do for Dad, maybe a little outdoor shade. So, I mean, grilling, chilling. Jake got some installed. I know he loves them. Again, there's so many options. Just have them out to your home and let them show you everything they offer. K to Z window coverage, KTOZblinds.com.
I mean, the shade was huge for us for Harlow's birthday, right? I mean, you drop the shade and it just completely cools off the space, not only inside, but outside. It's truly like a one-stop shop with this new shade, KTOZblinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. Andy Isco joins us from Las Vegas, and we review the new national champion in college baseball. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Yeah. Play my Panthers goal sound. Alondra, come on. What are you doing here,
we don't
dude?
need to do that.
What are you doing here? All right, Jake, what would your high school be named after in your Disney sports movie?
It would be, it would name after Gail Buck Clevin, who was a colonel.
Excuse me?
Yeah, his name was Gail Buck Clevin.
Who's Clevin?
Okay, that's his last name.
Oh, okay.
He was a colonel in the Army, and he was a B-17 pilot flying the Flying Fortress. And so we would be the Buck Bombers.
Okay, the Buck Bombers. I love that. Would you be, so not the Colonels?
No.
He was a colonel.
No, he was a colonel, but also he's known for flying the B-17.
Not the B-52. Oh, not the B-52s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, B-52s is in, shout out to Barksdale Air Force Base in Bossier City. No, he would be he's a B-17, so the Flying Fortress. He was a pilot for that. It would be the Buck Bombers.
You better be running the air raid, though. You got to be running a wide open, just launching it, just a barrage of throws at your opponent.
Yeah, the offense bombs over Baghdad's the name. You know, the Outkast song just plays
in
the highlight film.
You're going to need Brock Berlin back there changing the game.
Yeah, so named after Gail Clevin, but his nickname was Buck, so the Buck Bombers.
I couldn't come up with a solid answer.
Wait, you had 3 minutes and you didn't have anything?
Nothing.
I'm
still getting back into the flow. You know how it is, like when you leave work for a few days and you just it's so funny how immediate the rust can set in. It's like it's like if you don't work out for like 2 weeks or something and like muscle atrophy starts to crank in. So no, unfortunately, I'm not feeling not butt bombers, Buck Bombers. Buck Bombers. Thank you very much. Also, Chad's saying that the goal sound slaps Alondra, so you should probably make it happen. How do we feel about Connor McDavid winning the Conn Smythe in a losing effort? I mean, he deserves it. He dominated the playoffs.
Luka Modric won the man of the match in a losing effort. Or
It's just
a tying effort.
I guess the better question is, how would you feel if you were Connor McDavid? What do you do with the trophy?
So my senior year in the Superdome, I got player of the game in a losing effort against Hahnville.
Oh, wow.
And so I have that trophy never, I don't maybe my mom has it or something. It ain't going up at my house.
Yeah, so you didn't put it up.
No.
Yeah.
God, no.
I mean, I did give away my Natty Championship jersey to Voodoo. Or not Voodoo, what am I talking about? Blue Oak Barbecue.
Voodoo Barbecue? I've not thought about that.
That was directly across from me in college, and I used to go there all the time to.
When we first moved here, and we were staying in this
spot.
random condo, because like Gordy, hey, you're gonna do the radio show. You got 2 weeks, and Voodoo was right across from where we stayed, which is where you lived.
Yeah, it sucked too, but whatever. Blue Oak does not suck, but I feel that. So so you think Connor McDavid? He wins one of the most prestigious awards in all of hockey, and it's like every time he looks at it, all it's gonna remind him of is this incredible comeback that almost happened, but didn't quite get across the finish line. All right,
I would just give it to the franchise.
When we get back, LSU adding another key recruit on the football field. Where does the class rank now, and could it end up as number one? Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. You need a vehicle if it's a new one, maybe you just want a Toyota certified used vehicle where you get a great price, but you still get warranty coverage, maybe to rent for a vacation or something this summer. Well, All-Star Toyota has all the answers. Their website's a great place to start and check out some of the deals they got going on and changing. Concert member, military members, and recent graduates always got some extra special deals going down. And the service center, all makes and models welcome. Doesn't have to be Toyota, doesn't have to be from All-Star. So if you need somebody to work on your car, it's already there off of Airline and Goodwood, All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com.
Like T-Bob said, call Miss Lisa Sessions today in that rental department because it is summer vacation time. And hey, I know there's some sharks down there in Florida, but there's other places to go. So if you're going to those other places, get your Toyota today. Everything is available. Every single thing that they do is available in the rental process as well. All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined we...
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Glenn West talking Tigers, Sharif Ishak talking Saints, and college baseball has a new national champ. And does Texas have a new coach? Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Speaking on Connor McDavid taking on the Conn Smythe, despite not winning the Stanley Cup Finals, somebody said, think about all the Heisman winners that don't win the championship. But that's a bit different for a couple of reasons. First off, a lot of Heisman winners don't even play in the championship. They're the best player in the country, but for whatever reason, their team, like look at Jay Daniels last year. And also, if you are a Heisman winner playing in the championship, while we know there seems to be a bit of a curse at times, unless you're like a Joe Burrow, when you win the Heisman, you don't know if you've won or lost yet. So again, it had to be very complicated emotions for Connor McDavid, who was heralded as the one. Coming into the draft, number 1 overall pick, and has lived up to that in every since, except for winning a Stanley Cup. And to get that close, and I mean, the guy just jumps off the ice, but just couldn't get across the finish line.
The Conn Smythe is also for the playoffs. It's not for the whole season.
Yeah, just for the playoffs. Yeah, and he had like 45 points or something.
Right. In less than 30 games. Yeah.
But God, dude, can you imagine how exhausted and how disappointed it is? They've been playing this season. What did they say in the broadcast last night? Over 240 days or something. It's damn near been an entire calendar year. It's the longest season in NHL history. From a day perspective, you push it all the way to Game 7 when it looks like you're done, and then you fall just short in the manner that you did. That is heartbreaking. If you're McDavid but look, you got to take a page out of the Panthers book and find a way to fight back. I mean, the Panthers dropped last year in the final, like a couple years ago, the best team in regular season, they get smoked by the Lightning. Last year, they make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, get smoked by the Knights. Now they make it all the way back and find a way to finally finish it off. As Bilbo pointed out, McDavid having 3 regular season MVPs. Exactly. He's done everything that he was supposed to do when he was number 1 overall pick, supposed to be the next great thing. Again, you just gotta win. In America, we only care if you get that championship. To get that close is absolutely brutal, and still to come up short. Asked the Vince how crazy that years ago LSU fans begged and pleaded to get some type of quarterback play. Now we've had 2 Heisman quarterbacks in 5 years. Yeah, it is. It's unbelievable.
It boggles the mind.
And Garrett Nussmeier is going to go a very long way towards determining how we feel about that continuing. And then it looks like the pipeline is set with Bryce Underwood. And that's actually what I want to start with. No Nick Underhill. He's out of the country for the next 3 weeks, so we won't talk to Nick for a while here like we normally do on Tuesdays. But I want to look at this LSU recruiting class led by Bryce Underwood because although they sit at 3 or 4, depending on where you look at the rankings right now, maybe a little bit of a quality over quantity situation with LSU having some real opportunity to maybe get into that number 1 spot. We'll break down to kickoff hour number 3 here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Aggitemp of Baton Rouge, AggiTempBR.com, AggiTempBR.com. This is I'll get there. Service to the highest degree. We mentioned it earlier, okay? That ain't just lip service, okay? They walk that walk. That's why their Google review ratings are so astoundingly good despite having thousands of Google reviews. You know how hard it is for the internet to consistently love you in the way that it loves Accutemp? Find out why. By having them out for our AC, heating, electrical needs. You need a generator for storm season. They'll give you an estimate, let you know exactly how it all work and protect you and your family. Accutemp of Baton Rouge.
Go to the website today to schedule your appointment because, well, if you were here over the weekend, you know exactly why you can't go without air conditioner. It's hotter than the devil's lair, so make sure that your AC is working like it's supposed to. AgTemp's going to make sure of that. AgTempBR.com.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back. OTB, hour number 3. Hope everybody's having a great day. Tuesday, June 22, 2024. Glad to be back. Missed y'all while I was gone. I think this is the last official escapade of F-Boy Summer. So maybe a day or two here or there, but I don't believe any more extended absences. My race has officially been run. Maybe one more week in Chicago. We'll see. But again, I'll be on air if that happens again. So that won't be much. I mentioned LSU recruiting class. Did y'all talk about Jesse Harold committing to LSU?
We had Shea on yesterday.
Okay. Top 100 player, 6'5", 230, edge rusher. Great pickup for Kevin Peoples, who, again, is kind of talked about as one of the fast risers in the coaching industry. I know he's kind of with the additions of Blake Baker and getting Corey Raymond back and adding Bo Davis, Peoples becomes an afterthought. I was guilty of that as well. And then talking to some others who are more in the industry than I am, again, the hype around Peoples is actually pretty high. So giving him a chance to develop guys like Deshaun Womack and company, well, that seems like a great opportunity. But this adds to what is a very talented 2025 class for LSU. Now, if you look at the On3 rankings, they sit there at number 3 in the entire country. I believe it's number 4 in the composite, with Ohio State and Georgia being 1 and 2, and Alabama right behind them at 4. However, there is a crucial difference between LSU, and this is even after the Decorian Moore decommit. Who else decommitted, Jake, that you were referencing that I missed when I was out?
You had Antoine, who is from Westgate, defensive back. Again, another one of the top players in the country.
Antoine?
Yeah.
It's a bit disappointing. What's the story there?
So Florida State, Miami certainly heavily involved. Shea was telling us yesterday that he actually plays 7-on-7 for a South Florida team. Also, look, Shea laid it out. Like Westgate, it's actually had players go to Texas and Alabama over the last couple of years, and it's right there in New Iberia. So we've seen schools like this, it happened before, like where there's certain schools that send players elsewhere, and it becomes kind of a thing. And Shea, pointed out, Corey Raymond from New Iberia, this was his first big get when he gets back to LSU. So maybe there's still a chance that he could find his way back to LSU. But Westgate, over the last couple of years, they've had players leave town.
Well, even with the Jabari Antoine decommitment, even with the Decorian Moore decommitment, LSU, again, still right there, number 3, number 4 in the entire country. But where the key difference comes in, Ohio State's first in the country, but they have 19 total commits. Georgia's second, but they have 15. Alabama is either 3rd or 4th, and they have 18. You only have 12. And the scoring on these classes is it's a mixture of cumulative in terms of overall number of commits and the quality, but to have that few commits compared to your peers and to be ranked that highly, I mean, again, just look, right after Alabama, Clemson is 5. No, Clemson's at 13, so they're in a similar position where maybe they could rise. But then Notre Dame checking at 6 has 21 commitments. Auburn at 7 has 18 commitments. Now, Oregon at 8 only has 9. So, again, that's another one that could rise. But A&M right behind them, 15. So, the point is this is an LSU class that is still kind of being defined by quality over quantity. But if they can continue to add, like when they really flesh out the cast and you everybody ends up with 25 around there in terms of your signing class, this is an LSU class that could rise to number 1 in the entire country as this thing plays out.
And it's still time. Now, see, I don't say plenty of time anymore. Like used to, you'd say plenty of time in June because
True.
Like you had to wait till February and the Bayou Bash. It's not the case anymore. We know that, and we know the early signing periods, the signing period, and also like we were talking about with Shea yesterday. There's a lot of players that they're kind of like you were. They were kind of tired of it. Like they're ready to shut it down. They want to focus on their senior season. They want to go out there, get their commitment kind of behind them, and maybe they take an in-season visit. But for the most part, they kind of want to have their mind made up as they head into their senior year. So you still got some time, not as much time as you used to, but this is shaping up to be, regardless of a player here, a player there, at the end of the day, a top 5 class.
Yes. It feels like it would have to go really sideways for it not to end in the top 5. And of course, you're looking to continue the quarterback pipeline with Garrett Nussmeier having a big year this year. Maybe next year as well. Do you think Bryce Underwood, surely, I wonder what Bryce Underwood's expectations are in terms of playing. Because Nussmeier could potentially be a one and done, I suppose, if he just came in and completely dominated.
Oh, absolutely could.
But it feels more realistic that he would probably be your 2-year starter. It feels like Bryce Underwood would be fully cognizant of that fact. I wonder where Underwood's expectations are in terms of does he step in and play immediately year number 1, or is he cool with, or does he maybe even want to sit and learn and grow and kind of gear up for a year? Now, year number 2, no matter what happens, absolutely the expectation will be for Bryce Underwood to start. But I wonder where his head is at I wonder where his head's in that regard.
I mean, sitting 1 year is not the worst thing.
I know, but you don't know what these cats.
I mean, look at like Dante Moore. He thought that he wanted to play immediately.
Yeah.
So he goes to UCLA. He plays, and then he's like, you know what? I'm going to go to Oregon and sit behind Dylan Gabriel for a year, and then I think I'm ready to play. So it's not always the best case scenario. So it just depends on where your mindset's at. You have Colin Hurley here already, but still, like, Underwood seems to be a generational type talent. So he's going to expect to play certainly in year 2, but not maybe necessarily in year number 1. Although, like you said, Nussmeier easily could go out there and have a season that we think he's potentially set up to have, and he could be a one-and-done guy.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned Hurley, right? Because anytime you have one of these big-time 5-star guys, everybody else gets lost in the shuffle. But as we pointed out, if you just objectively look at LSU over the past 25 years, they're actually one of the worst schools in the country when it comes to developing 5-stars and getting the most out of them, whereas they are one of the best schools in the country when it comes to developing 3 and 4 stars and getting the most out of them. Like, you are a bit like Iowa of the SEC. So if I'm Colin Hurley or anything else like that, like, all you got to do, I mean, don't get dismayed here. Just keep working and try to win that job. Like, once Underwood shows up on campus, all bets are off. The best player, well, in a well-run organization, the best player win. Were you confused? And so, sorry, I'm going off. This makes me think about something else that I haven't read about. I only saw the headlines. Brent Venables extended at Oklahoma, and the reason why this brings it up is because the Jackson Arnold thing, right? Like, running Dylan Gabriel off, who by far had the best stats, the best season of any quarterback in the Big 12, one of the best in the entire country, running him off for a 5-star young unproven talent is a bit of a bold move, right? And it kind of could be akin to maybe what some of the pressure that could develop in this situation here at LSU could be. But I guess what I'm getting at is, when you see that Brent Venables is being extended at Oklahoma, are you like reacting like, oh, okay, well, they obviously know something we don't. We do know that recruiting's been well. Last season was a good 10-win season. You beat Texas, which again ends up kind of being the greatest point of attack against you because you beat Texas, won 10 games, and blew it. Like, you absolutely should have been in the Big 12 championship. Instead, you allowed Texas into a playoff. So, like, you kind of blew it even in a great season. But what was your reaction when you heard that Brent Venables gets extended?
Not really surprised. Joe Castiglione, the athletic director at Oklahoma, waxed poetic about Venables on air and off air down in Destin. You could tell he's a big fan of where the program is heading. He mentioned recruiting. He mentioned also, he's like, I don't understand why this happens sometimes. And it's not just at Oklahoma, but he's like, you win 10 games, you beat a good Texas team that made it to the CFP, but you lose a bowl game to an Arizona, a team that people are like, Arizona, it's like, they were really good last year, right? And we were breaking in a new quarterback. And so it's not surprising just knowing kind of how they feel about Brent Venables. But to, like, somebody on the outside looking in, maybe it is like, maybe you'd want another, hey, we got to go out there and prove it at least one more year before we extend you. But the only reason I'm not surprised is because of a conversation I had down in Destin.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I probably would be.
The only thing is, like, again, it's going to be a brutal year for Oklahoma. The schedule looks awful. Like, they're going to fight to, I think, be 8-4. Like, 8-4 would arguably be a successful season. That's not going to make Oklahoma fans happy. And then you're struggling. It almost reminds me of a bit, except it's not entirely fair comp because Les Miles had way more success to that point than Brent Venables has. But I think, did Miles get extended in like 2013? Remember when there was that Arkansas flirtation, and they kind of used it as a launching pad to get an extension and a raise. And he's just starting out on radio at the time. We're kind of talking about how, man, it just doesn't really feel like you had to do that, and, well, it ended up costing you a lot more money when just a couple of years later you did want to move on, and it stopped you from moving on when you exactly wanted to, which, again, in the cosmic way that things work out, saved you from getting Jimbo Fisher, which felt bad at the time, but ended up probably being a huge positive when you look at everything that happened at Texas A&M. So I guess you never quite know how these things are going to play out, but I was surprised that Venables ended up getting extended. Go Hard or Go Home says they have to get Nuss in the top 2 rounds to do next fall. You do not want Underwood sitting in this NIL era.
I mean, no. If you have, I mean, I understand like on the surface what you're saying, but also like if Garrett Nussmeier plays as a top quarterback and wants to come back,
yeah.
You're letting him come back.
It's
because you know what he is.
Exactly. But that's what's fascinating about Oklahoma. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't. They had that exact situation, and they told that guy to get out of here. Like, I would be shocked if Garrett Nussmeier has as good of a year as Dylan Gabriel did last year.
And also,
that would be a home run.
You lose Levy to Mississippi State, so maybe offensive philosophy.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe some of that came into your mind, but I still would not have done it. Dylan Gabriel was really, really good last year. Jackson Arnold, we think is going to be good. He was okay in a bowl game with the Alamo Bowl against Arizona, but no, you don't get rid, air quotes, of a proven commodity for potential.
Yeah, look, y'all are gonna, a lot of people are gonna roll their eyes to keep using this comparison, but it is, a boat's a boat. The mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat. Like, that's how I feel about Oklahoma. Ryan Bragg says, is Hurley going to get squeezed out? And when somebody said, Cortland Jacob, I would hope Hurley doesn't go until he actually loses the job to the younger quarterback. Yeah, look, if a guy leaves just because the appearance of a guy, then that's someone who you probably didn't really want either way. Like, that's someone who probably didn't have what it takes to make it either way. If somebody shows up and you go toe-to-toe and lose that battle, and then you choose to leave, nothing but respect. That is what it is. That's life, and I get it. You got to find ways to play. So, yes, but Colin Hurley is so confident in terms of reclassifying, bumping himself up, trying to do so. Like, that is a kid that gives off so much confidence that he does not strike me as someone who would leave just because the appearance of someone new.
Well, I feel like Bryce Underwood's comments about like his commitment and stuff like that, I don't think that he'd be upset sitting a year behind Hurley.
I'm it's interesting. Well, see, again, behind Hurley's different. Because if it's behind Hurley, that means that Nussmeier's left after this year, and then he loses a job to Hurley, which could potentially mean a couple of years sitting. Sitting behind Nuss, probably no big deal because the job's up for grabs the next season. It'll be fascinating to see, maybe as fascinating, or more so, since the starting quarterback job's kind of decided. The backup quarterback job next year, if Nuss comes back, will be very interesting to kind of see how that's developing. But if you're Hurley, you got to take advantage. You have time on your side, and you have you're going to have a chance to be more acclimated to the college level. And maybe you hold them off. Either way, whoever wins, I think as an LSU fan, you kind of win because I think both those players have the potential to be very good. And so if you have two potentially very good players going toe-to-toe with one another, you get the iron sharpens iron effect, and whoever ends up winning that battle ends up being a net win no matter what the name is. The problem is sometimes we do get married to the bigger name in recruiting, but I don't care. Like, if you beat out the guy who was the bigger name in recruiting, then that's fine because that just tells me that you too are very good. So I'm not married to Bryce Underwood or anything guaranteed being the starter. I just think that the quarterback room looks really, really healthy. Really, really healthy right now from outside looking in, like, long term. So we'll see. But yeah, LSU right now, ranked number 3 in the on-3 team ranking, just 12 commits compared to 15 for UGA and 19 for that of
and still some big
Ohio
players
State
out there for the state of Louisiana that you would assume LSU still is going to be the leader in the clubhouse. And again, like Antoine from Westgate, still very.
Somebody in
very,
chat said he got crystal ball to LSU even after this news.
I don't know, but still very easily could find his way back to Baton Rouge.
Yeah. Well, for Jabari Antoine, Sonny Ship actually put in his crystal ball after he decommitted for LSU, and he had it at a 7. So take that for what it's worth.
Weird.
Sure.
Weird.
So, so James Simon from Calvary, the running back that we talked about a lot and dominated the playoffs here in Louisiana. I don't know if we actually even hit on this, but he committed to Texas. No surprise, though, because Harlem Berry, the number 1 running back in the country, committed to LSU. So we talked about that. It was always going to be hard to get both of them.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at players in the state of Louisiana, Antoine actually, like on 3, it still says 95% LSU. It seems high that he decommitted, but still certainly an opportunity. Other players in the state of Louisiana, you're still in on those players. And so, yeah, this recruiting class certainly could go up, and you're going to hit Texas, you're going to hit Mississippi, you're going to hit the recruiting pipeline. But no matter what, it feels like at the end of the day, it's going to be a top 5 class in the country.
Which kind of puts to rest any notions about Brian Kelly not being able to recruit. All right, when we get back, maybe a little Kubiak talk. Yeah, little New Orleans Saints getting fired up. Derek Carr, guaranteed top 12 quarterback in the NFL this year. Get ready. I mean, already was last year, right? So good quarterback rating and whatnot.
Yeah.
But there's
you mean to name 12 better quarterbacks?
There's been an interesting, I would dare you to. There's been an interesting change in how the Saints are running their offensive meetings. We'll break it down next here in OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Trash Rangers land. Look, check it out. If you are a business owner and you need front loaders, right, some dumpsters, and let's say you need pickup just 1 day a week, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe even up to 6 days a week. Well, I don't care where you are. Trash Rangers can work with you to find you a solution, okay? 225-363-9053. The Trash Rangers, we understand different business and different needs, and they're flexible in terms of their scheduling. Also, if you got like debris, clear off some project of the house, you need a roll-off dumpster, anywhere, all areas, you want Trash Rangers, call them up or go to trashrangersllc.com today.
Yeah, when you go to the website, you'll see what T-Bob's talking about. Roll-off dumpsters. We're talking to everyone here in the Baton Rouge listening area. So if you've got a project going on at your home, they have 3 sizes, remember. So project at your house or a major overhaul at your business, you can get the biggest size. They've got you covered. Go to trashrangersllc.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Shay Dixon joins us after a busy recruiting weekend, and we're recapping the College World Series with Ronnie Rance. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, Jake's going to attempt to do the impossible and name 12 NFL quarterbacks better than Derek Carr.
I actually went 14 off the top of my head. We got Mahomes, Burrow, Goff, Allen.
Hold on, wait. Take a break real quick.
Why?
I just need to get some stats pulled up here, so I can be ready.
Okay.
To fight
again,
you on
like
this front.
isn't even necessarily a stats conversation. This is every single Saints fan, if they were being honest with themselves, would take any of these 14 quarterbacks over Derek Carr.
Okay, name them.
All right. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff.
Yeah.
You okay?
Easy.
Are you sure? You good
duh.
with that? Josh Allen.
Yeah, of course.
Brock Purdy. Yes.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, duh.
Jordan Love. You're lying.
Jordan Love's got to do it for more than 8 games. Jordan Love has had 8 good games his career. True or false?
He threw for 4,200 yards last year.
I do believe
32-11.
I do believe that that I would as well take Jordan Love over Derek Carr because Derek Carr's a known quantity and Jordan Love has a way higher ceiling and feeling of potential. But like he wasn't that good the first 8 game season. That crappy Saints team
Derek Carr wasn't good for
17.
17.
No, he was incredible the last 6 games, to be fair, just like Jordan Love was.
Yeah, the competition.
Well, it's going to be a lot of the same competition on this schedule too, though. All I'm saying is we're crowning Jordan Love. Let's see him do it for more than 8 games.
He was the 7th guy that I named.
More than 8 games. It's just like we crowned Trevor Lawrence, and he kind of sucked last year. And now he gets paid what? $250 million?
I don't have Trevor Lawrence on this list.
Yeah, because you don't have Trevor Lawrence being better than Derek
Just
Carr?
because I wrote 14 names before I had to even pull anything up, so I didn't feel like I needed to go Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, keep going.
Because I got Matthew Stafford, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, and Kirk Thuggins.
That's 14?
That's 14. I didn't even mention Trevor Lawrence, Baker Mayfield.
My balls are going to be sweating it a little bit, I guess. Pretty good 14 there, to be fair. I still think Jordan.
That's not even counting rookie quarterbacks like Caleb Williams.
I still think Jordan Love's doing a little bit of like
CJ Stroud.
How'd this guy get in the party?
And what if Bryce Young ends up not sucking?
Well, but you said that he needs to do it for more than 8 games. Derek Carr only did it for 6, like you said.
Derek Carr's done it for. He's had 12 and 4 seasons as starting quarterback, made Pro Bowls and stuff. Jordan Love did it for 8 games.
Oh yeah. A little sweaty down there, huh?
It didn't feel great. Didn't feel like you named 14 quarterbacks. Those are all pretty damn good. Matt Stafford's old, though. He's pretty old. So's Derek Carr, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Super Bowl.
Clint Kubiak is bringing a new, again, let's just count on Kubiak to make all things feel good. Clint Kubiak is bringing a new level of accountability to New Orleans Saints. Remember how last year Carmichael and Allen would not go after Carr? And I mean, I think Dennis Allen, quite frankly, looked like a fool at times in how willing he was to defend Derek Carr at all costs, while calling out people, other teammates publicly. Tell me if you think this is odd, Jake. I've never heard of this before. During this portion of the season, they're non-committal, whether it'll stay like this during the regular season. I'm used to, in a meeting setting, you might start as an offense and you watch some film together, do some install, but then you go into your different position groups, and that's where you watch the majority of your film. The Saints this summer have been watching their film all together, the entirety of the offense. And
not at all breaking into different...
Not at all breaking, according to what I've read. They're not going to stay in that. But that it's been purposely by design, because Kubiak wants one voice to kind of, as they're working in a new offense, wants one voice to be like very clear about, okay, this is the expectation, this is what we're going to do. And for whatever this is worth, the players are saying that there has been a level of accountability that was not there before, including calling out Carr when he screws up, as opposing to kind of letting that happen behind closed doors instead of in front of everybody.
Everyone does it a little bit different. In San Diego, we were more, hey, quickly meet as a offense, like in the totality of the unit, and then break off into rooms more.
That's what I'm used to as well.
But in Denver, it was a lot of everybody meeting together, and Peyton had the clicker, and Peyton had the legal pad in front of him, and he was the one going over misassignments. All right, so that was different for me, and we did that probably 85% of the time, and then it was 15% break off into your running back, O-line, quarterback, receiver, tight end room. So everybody does it a little bit different. Now, I will say this. When I got to Denver, and it was kind of like player-led, and Peyton was the one doing the talking, because Mike McCoy was our offense coordinator. He ended up being a head coach the next year, so it's not like he was, he was a somebody. And then you had Adam Gase was the quarterback coach, and so future NFL head coaches, but it was him. Like, he was running the meeting, and he was calling out everybody. It didn't matter if you were, DT, if you were Decker, Noshawn, Willis McGay, did not matter. Like, he was calling you out. And that did lead to, you really making sure that you knew your assignment, because you didn't want to get called out in that meeting. Now, Peyton messed up one time, and Noshawn let him know as well. But, it did kind of change the dynamic, because it wasn't just a coach up there. It was a Hall of Famer up there who was leading this meeting. I wonder how much of that they're doing as well, how much player voice they have in those meetings, because it does change the dynamic.
It seems like in this, the Nick Underhill piece makes it seems like it is Kubiak. It is Kubiak's voice.
Yeah, for sure. But I wonder how much they're hey, if let's say, gosh, I don't want to I'll pick on Foster, because Foster wouldn't care. Let's say Foster messes up and he has an MA. How much is Derek Carr, because they know each other, they've played in two different spots. Hey, Foster, we need you to do this on this. And if Foster sees somebody, right? If Foster is in a combo block with Fuaga, who's a rookie, hey, really, we need your outside hand here. Small little things where you're not calling somebody out, but you're also holding each other accountable.
So Foster's actually quoted in the article. Saying, quote, and again, New Orleans and football, sign up, guys. Quote, "No one is above the man sitting next to them. Everyone should be ready. I've been in offenses where it's look, come in with thick skin and a leather jacket on, because there's a little bit of berating going on, which is fine. That's a style to do it. I played in multiple offenses where that's a style, and if it works, if you're tough and have thick skin."
He played for Gruden.
Moreau said the team has thick skin for now, but he noted that it's easy to be that way this time of year before anything bad has happened. The idea is to ensure the team works together and avoids possibility of anything bad lingering. Also, at the beginning of the piece, it says 42 players file in the room, and they take their seats. They might sit in groups alongside those who do the same job as them, but there are no official classifications or separations like there used to be in this setting. The quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends, fullbacks, offensive linemen all meet in the same room and get the same coaching. The idea, 42 hear one. The one voice explains how things are expected to be done and addresses any corrections that need to be made. Other coaches will speak up and give their insight and direction, and all those voices work to combine as one, leading the team in the same direction. And then it just goes on. Here's what Clint Kubiak had to say, quote, I think it's important, and this about him being the main leader of the meetings, quote, I think it's important to hear one voice early that's really important as an offense, that we're all speaking the same language as coaches and players. And again, they're kind of non-committal as to whether or not that will continue during the season, but that's at least how it started here. I kind of like it. But then again, it is sunshine pumping season, and I like everything that I'm hearing anecdotally about this offense thus far this offseason.
It's all going to come down to the guy that we started the conversation with, Derek Carr.
Top 12 quarterback in the NFL.
Which 3 names are you taking off this list?
Let me see that list. Hand it to me. I'll go ahead and say Jordan Love for now, because he's one that jumped off.
There's 32 of 32 would take Jordan Love over Derek Carr.
I didn't say that. I'm talking about who's going to have a better year this year. Of course you take Jordan Love. He's young and has more potential. But if he's going to be top 12, the guys that Carr could pass up on this list would be Love. Jalen Hurts, it's a big year for him. I would not take him off this list, but it's a big year for him. Matt Stafford, you always got to worry about the age thing maybe coming into play. I imagine Dak will have great stats, but I wonder how Cowboys fans will feel about him by the end.
Dak, 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
Dak was statistically the best quarterback in the NFL last year. But
it's third in yards, yeah.
Who would you take over? But you would take a lot of these guys over Dak Prescott.
Yeah, he'd probably be somewhere in the 8 range.
Yeah. Kirk Thuggins coming off the Achilles. Still a lot to prove there.
Get out of here.
Okay. We're seeing, dude, coming off the Achilles. We'll see, man.
He almost had more touchdown passes than Derek Carr in 8 games.
Yeah, Pete Carmichael did. And C.J. Stroud, you ever heard of a sophomore slump? I mean, I don't want to be the one to say it, but,
You pick up a Pro Bowl Stephon Diggs, and, you're going to be worse in year 2.
Yeah.
You're also the person who, every time we have this conversation, what do you say? The jump from year 1 to year 2 is the biggest jump that you make?
Not always as a quarterback in the NFL. I mean, is that true or false?
You always say that, though.
True or false? That was my experience as a player in college, and generally that is in college. It's not always the case in the NFL where you suddenly have these expert minds using a year of film on you, and you're already as physically developed as you're going to get in a lot of times, whereas in college you're still like growing and everything else. I mean, Brock Purdy kind of sucks, dude. I agree with Cam Newton.
Yeah, 4,200 yards, 31 touchdowns. Terrible. 9.6 yards an attempt, which I think led the NFL.
It's all right.
70% completion percentage. That's awful.
Yeah,
Bad
it's
year.
not that good, dude.
Derek Carr was 7.1 yards per attempt.
Yeah,
so
Pete
2.5 yards.
Sucks, dude, I don't know what to tell you.
More.
Pete Carmichael sucks. I mean,
led the NFL in passing yards.
Yeah, it might be 10. I'm not sure about Tua either. So there's a few guys I could get rid of on that list.
You can't even.
There's a few guys I get rid of.
You can't even BS your way through this.
No, I can't.
You can't.
Okay.
Like even Trevor Lawrence, who I didn't even mention on this list. Like I don't personally think a lot of Trevor Lawrence, but there's a lot of people that would value peak Trevor Lawrence over peak Derek Carr.
Again, younger and probably has more potential. But we're talking about being better this year.
See, I didn't even mention like Kyler Murray. What about Will Levis, who had a really
Why
nice
would you
rookie
mention
season?
Calamari? And why would you mention because there's no need to mention those guys. Calamari, get the hell out of here.
Okay. So you're saying you would take Derek Carr over Kyler Murray and Will Levis? And that's not rhetorical.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Okay.
ESPN's so obsessed with QBR, they just won't even do like traditional quarterback rankings on their website anymore.
You're looking for one metric.
Are you kidding me? Like, what's up?
Hey, honestly though, having this Anthony Richardson, by the way, I think is going to have a monster.
Here it is. Okay.
Year.
So Derek Carr last year finished the season with a 97 quarterback rating. It's number 10 in the NFL. It's ahead of Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, Geno Smith, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts at 20, Lawrence at 21. Sheesh, good list you got. I don't know. Derek Carr finished ahead of him last year. What do you want me to tell you? Get ready, baby. Kubiak! All right, NFL story of the day.
You want to go to QBR?
It's a flawed metric.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
It's a flawed metric. And even then, Carr's what, 15th?
16th.
Exactly. Not a lot of improvement needed. Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. Hey, man, look, if you have a pool and, look, pool maintenance is a hell of a thing. Maybe you let it get a bit out of control, but you need to get it ready for the summer. Hit up Pinnacle. They'll come out. They get you right. But they also offer year-round maintenance plans. And, again, if you're building anything outdoor, kitchen, pergolas, fences, any size and type, bulkheads, a custom pool, a spec pool, Pinnacle's the answer. PECbuilt.com. Go check out the gallery today. You'll be blown away. Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
PECbuilt.com is the website to go see what they can do for you. Pools, outdoor living spaces, fences, bulkheads. They can do it all. Also, outdoor turf right there in your yard. To be able to do so many different things. Putting green, have a space to work out. No matter the weather, you'll have a space. PECbuilt.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. Andy Isco joins us from Las Vegas, and we review the new national champion in college baseball. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Excuse me. Why are y'all debating oldness in the chat right now?
I don't know. I was accused of calling someone old, but I didn't call anybody old.
What would you consider old?
I don't think you're old till you're like in your mid 60s.
Well, guess what about this? If you ever feel old, you can always go to Rejuve Me Medical.
Yep.
RejuveMeMedical.com, where you go and get your labs drawn to get that free consultation. They see where your body's deficient, what it needs, what it doesn't need, and then they customize a plan for you based upon that information. So like maybe HRTs for you, maybe not, semaglutide, maybe not, but whether it's like facial aging, mood memory problems, insomnia, a lack of energy, so all of this and more, like just basically fight the untreated effects of aging with your friends over at Rejuve Me Medical. We got locations in Baton Rouge, Metairie, Slidell, now Monroe as well. It's going to change your life, guys. Be the best you can be. Restore me, refuel me, RejuveMeMedical.com. Derek Carr going to get a little rejuvenated by my guy, Clint Kubiak. Clint Kubiak is the coaching form of a testosterone shot, Jake. Yeah, let's see how Brock Purdy does without cubes, okay? The real man behind Purdy's success. Who?
Shanahan? He's still there?
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Okay. Kubiak's dad won a championship.
So did Chaney's.
Thank you. I'm setting you up for that. All right, let's do our Tay-Tay NFL story of the day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
All right, so obviously Tay-Tay's not here.
Boo!
So Alondra's going to do it.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it Taylor themed, though.
Yes.
Okay, you remember our guy, Isaiah Buggs, who was arrested for killing a dog?
Yeah,
allegedly. And then also booked on domestic violence.
Allegedly.
And allegedly booked, well, he was booked on domestic violence and burglary charges in Tuscaloosa. Okay, so the Chiefs cut him.
What?
Yeah, Chiefs cut him. They're like, we ain't dealing with all that. They haven't done anything about Rashee Rice, though, yet, so...
Which is actually crazy.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a commentary on maybe how good they think Buggs actually is anyway, right? Are you worth the headache or not?
But also, there's the other side of it where he might be getting set up.
So the Tuscaloosa PD wins.
Yeah.
In the end, trying to set up Bug. No, to be clear, I do not want to throw a lot in with Isaiah Bug. I don't think it makes any sense that the Tuscaloosa PD would be out there conspiratorially trying to ruin this man's
that's
life.
a hookah lounge.
Hilarious.
I know was it vape or hookah?
It's a hookah
It's a
lounge.
hookah lounge.
His lawyer is arguing that they desperately want his hookah lounge shut down, and so in pursuit of having that goal accomplished, they have been framing him for crimes that he has not been committing.
I don't know how you can frame someone for domestic violence, but...
When did he get drafted? Second round, first round?
I think second or third round.
Second round, right?
No, I don't think it was that high, actually.
Last year?
Oh, no. He's been in the league for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He didn't get drafted by the Chiefs. I mean, he played for Detroit last year.
Yeah, he got drafted
He was a
by-
6th-round pick, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. No, okay,
played
never mind.
3 years for the Steelers, was an all-season with the Raiders, out of football for a second, then got on with Detroit the last 2 years, and then was with Kansas City.
Yeah, and now no more. Not with Kansas City anymore. And then, so let's do a Cowboys story in honor of Tay-Tay.
Yeah.
So this is all alleged. This is the word on the street. Like Hunt Palmer would say, grapevines are rustling. Mike McCarthy is fed up with Jerry Jones.
Huh.
Surprising? No. But it is his last season under contract. So I guess we'll wait to find out what's going to happen with Mike McCarthy and see how fed up with Jerry Jones he really is, or if Jerry Jones is also fed up with Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy is one of the more fascinating coaches in the world because he has like a better resume than Sean Payton. Easily, objectively, kind of getting not close in some ways. And yet, I don't think he's viewed in that same light. I feel like a lot of people view Mike McCarthy as kind of a bumbling idiot, but like the more distance we get from the Aaron Rodgers-McCarthy stuff, we see, well, maybe, both parties were at fault a bit more there than we originally feel, because when you see that Rodgers is kind of his own bag of stuff.
Yeah.
And then, the playoff success isn't there, but he's been a really consistent winner in Dallas. I mean, if Mike McCarthy were to get fired, Jake, there would be a million teams lining up to hire him, right? If the Sean Payton market is any indication.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's done, like you said, he's done everything that Sean has done and then a little bit more. Like, he's been more consistent.
I think it's probably not that hard to get fed up by Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he's the only owner in the situation for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, that makes all the player decisions.
All right. Good job, Alondra. With a couple NFL stories of the day. How about when we get back, we do a little Ask the Bench, brought by Cole Kurz, Life is here. It's on the Blue Moonlight guys. Interest Suite. We close this thing out.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.com. The website's an excellent place to start to explore what All-Star can offer you and see some of the great deals that we have going down constantly. Remember, military members always getting extra deals over there at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. But it's not just them. You can go look and see what they can offer you if you're going to college. Again, great deals for recent high school grads. And whether it's a Tundra, Tacoma, Sienna, Sequoia, like sedans, SUVs, they got it all. Minivans, it's all at All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, when you go to their website, you'll see what T-Bob's talking about. Something for everyone, every lifestyle, every need that you have. Multiple midsize SUVs, multiple trucks, multiple sedans, Sienna minivans, Sequoia full-size SUV. No matter what you need, they got you covered by new, leasing, and also in the rental department. So check it out all online at their website, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Farming is a way of life.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Glenn West talking Tigers, Sharif Ishak talking Saints, and college baseball has a new national champ. And does Texas have a new coach? Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cole Kershaw. Visit our Tilter Blue Moon Lights Cast Citrus Suite. Can I interest you in something called Geek Con? Yeah, what is Geek Con?
All right, so we talked about this yesterday. I'm actually doing a signing at GeekCon. I'll be there. It's in Shreveport, and it's a convention like Comic-Con.
Yeah,
and there's going to be yes. And we were thinking about maybe even trying to see if we could do a show from GeekCon this year. Since we're on in Shreveport, we've never done a show from up there. You could go to Toledo Bend. It's going to have Billy Zane is going to be there.
The
like
doctor,
from the Phantom?
Yeah.
Yeah. The doctor from Scrubs.
John C. McGinley.
Which one? McSteamy or McDreamy?
No, that's
Grey's
yeah.
Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy.
Dr. Cox.
Can't say that on
Pedro.
Oh, Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite. Henry Thomas, who was the kid in E.T.
Hell yeah.
He's going to be there. There was somebody else I thought that you would get excited about.
Look, I love a good con. I've done a live D&D session at a Birmingham Comic-Con panel before.
There was somebody that you would get excited about, but I can't remember who it was now.
Ask the Bench.
But we were just trying to get a show together. We thought maybe because, they sell staffs and swords and different things that you would be excited about.
Yeah, I'm no stranger. I've got a lot of great art at Comic-Cons before. Have your people talk to my people. We'll see.
Who's your people?
Me. Just somebody.
Sports-wise, you're going to have Bob Lilly from the Cowboys. Rafael Palmeiro is going to be there. Todd Walker is going to be there.
Okay.
Billy Sims from Oklahoma going to be there.
The guy that played Candyman, Tony Todd, the actor.
Okay, that's classic con.
Yep.
Right there. Ask the Bench, does TF FOMO from the Hawk Tua phenomenon happening while he was in Cabo? We actually talked about it a little bit before he went.
Yeah.
And it started to happen then. But no, I mean, the Hawk Tua memes are just fantastic. They're great.
Oh, I know who you're thinking of, Hester. It's the guy who voiced Master Chief, Steve Downs, will be there.
That's all right.
No,
I would rather the guy who sang the Halo theme song.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag Ask the Bench, if the thick TMNT girl show up to GeekCon, will T-Bob have the confidence to talk to them? Probably not.
No.
If I couldn't even talk to Gronk.
He didn't talk. I tried to give you a little boost and nothing.
Nothing. Ask the Bench. T-Bob, I went to Universal last week. Hagrid's ride was awesome. What's your favorite ride at Universal? I don't know. I don't know that I mean, it used to be Dueling Dragons, but I heard they got rid of Dueling Dragons. I think 4 Hagrid's Wild Ride. I think the Harry Potter lines are awesome. I think the rides are okay. Heard the Velocicoaster's really good, but I haven't ridden it.
The guy who played the Gamorrean fighter in The Mandalorian will be there.
I mean, that's cons. That is cons for sure. Hashtag Ask the Bench. If you don't dogpile after baseball natty, can it be taken away from you?
I mean, no.
Seems like a prerequisite.
Did Tennessee screw up the dogpile?
I mean, who's to say you have to dogpile?
Oh, I have one Gronk story. I forgot. So me and my wife were dancing like a lot, like I said, getting after it. And at one point, apparently Gronk started backing it up on her, and she had no idea who he is because she didn't know anything about anything. And she said she just played his ass like the drums, like ba 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 ba. There were some tight drums, but gave him about 5 or 6 good smacks.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably about eye level to Caitlin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the other thing. He is giant.
Yeah.
Like he is like 6'7".
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Check it out. You want to join the largest electrical instrumentation contractor in the entire nation? The one that's headquartered right here in Baton Rouge and has been for a very long time? Then you want to join the MMR Group and ignite your career today. We are seeking talented individuals to join the team. And like I said, for over 3 decades, MMR headquartered here in Baton Rouge, offices all over the globe. And what we offer is a tailored path for professional and personal development. You couple that with outstanding benefits, a dynamic culture, and whether you're a student seeking an internship, beginning your career, or a seasoned pro, there's a variety of positions available. So build your future with MMR. Apply now at mmrgrp.com.
Yeah, when you go to the website that T-Bob gave you, top right corner, click on careers. It's going to pull everything that they have available there at MMR. You can also go to your favorite search engine, type in MMR Group. It's going to pull that up, locations as well. Again, go to the website today, mmrgrp.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.